Welcome, everybody, to the show. Reviewing episode 2 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Hard Salt Beef. And we know immediately why it was titled this episode. This episode got that title in the first 5 minutes. Well, not even a couple minutes.
It wasn't even hard.
Oh. Arlen Penny Tree, more like Arlen friggin' Tree Trunk. Like, holy, straight in your face. All right.
Sir Arlen the Penny Tree.
Sir Arlen the Long. He's got Mahler for the title of Long Man, I think. Sir Arlen of Penny Tree does. That is like a penny tree, it's quarter tree, $50 tree, silver dollar tree, whatever you want to call it. What a way to start the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like we got a theme going on here. So welcome, everybody, to the show. I am joined by Ryan Kinnell from RK Outpost. Hi, Ryan.
Hello. I absolutely loved this episode. Not because of the dick at the beginning, but because of everything about this
In
episode.
spite of the penis.
I didn't put a disclaimer out there.
And Shad. What's up, Shad?
Hey, I'm very excited to talk about it. And my only gripe for the show is in contrast to what we got slapped with at the very beginning. It's too short. This episode was too short. I wanted more, but everything else I loved, except, of course, the beginning where I was just wondering.
There was a big, giant penis.
Why? Don't know
Just
what that did. I guess. There you go.
Well, everybody's got to have their attributes, and Sir Arlen has his. And the chat was discussing who would win in a sword fight with them.
I would compare it to this Philippian sword, which is one of my favorite, and it's a great sword, brilliant, and it's just too short. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's girthy. No, he had a
girthy,
long sword. He had ice. Okay.
Yeah. He had something much bigger.
Welcome, Fringy. How are you?
Oh, hello. Yeah, I'm doing well. I like this show. It's cool. I vibe with it. I find it kind of interesting, its place in this universe that I don't actually know that much about, but I still like it.
And that's going to be an interesting perspective because we want to hear from people who haven't read the book or aren't necessarily lore heads with this, because that's going to be the question. Although the last episode did pretty well in its debut, better than I thought it would. Actually,
what's the viewership looking?
It
for
was like the third best premiere for HBO Max. Now it's not a streaming service that's been around for a very long time, but it finished behind House of the Dragon and Last of Us.
Season 1, I assume.
Season 1,
Last of Us, season 1.
Yeah. I think this is just going to keep growing in popularity.
Oh, God, yeah, especially with this episode. Mahler!
Hello. Nice to have another. We get a few of them every once in a while. TV show you can just sit back, relax, and engage, be made amused, inspired, shocked, and maybe a bit sad here and there too. Just the dialogue quality is strong, the pacing's strong. And we're actually at a point where I think we should have a conversation about this, because I meant to last stream when you'd said it, Gary, but like the idea of, would it have been better to release this all in one? Because I have since last week actually read the book this is going to be adapting. And the first thought I would have had after reading it is like, oh, this is a movie rather than a TV show. But if you make a TV show, it's like, oh, okay, 6 episodes, about 30 to 40 minutes apiece. It's like, you might run into the problem of, and I've seen it plenty already, a lot of people being like, where's the rest? Keep going. I want more. Episode's too short. It's like, So I don't know, but hang in there, all right? Hang in there.
Definitely.
It's tough because on something like HBO, like when people are used to like hour-long episodes for like basically all the premier HBO shows that we think about, the idea of a 30-minute episode like this, and I think most of them are going to be. The first episode, I think, is the longest of the run times.
It is.
So most of them are going to be about 30 minutes of, actual stuff, and then your, 6-minute post-show at the end, whatever it is. And it's tough because, like, for me, yeah, I probably would want it all at once. Viewership-wise, they're definitely going to do better releasing it as a whole, and finding good places to end it. And although that's been a question of mine, finding a good place to stop and feel like a full episode, I think this was the way that they did it and the way they worked it out was spot on.
Yeah, I think they've done a really good job so far of translating it into a TV show, honestly. And I think that by the time, if people stick in and watch the full 6, they'll be happy if they stick to this quality.
Yep. So I got to take care of some business before Metatron gets here. Yes, Metatron is on his way. So this
these reviews are becoming popular. We're gonna have 10 people on here. It's basically gonna be
crowded
FNT soon.
I know it's gonna be FNT. Hey, I'm down with it. But we got to take care of some business. We are dual streaming on Rumble. Hey, X-Ray Girl's even here in the background.
Hi. Bye.
Hey, how's it going?
She heard there was Dick in the show and she showed up.
He's
was
tall
very-
when he lays down.
Yes. So tonight's episode has a sponsor. It's brought to you by Venice AI. Alexa listens to us and recommends products based on our conversations. Meta uses our information based on our browsing and engagement history to sell to other companies. It's foul. Why do we assume AI is going to be any different? If you used any of the leading AI apps, which Shad has used them all, you have probably been censored at some point, even for harmless questions or requests. With Venice AI, it lets you use AI without handing over your sensitive information, with features like messages encrypted and your conversations history is stored only in your browser. AI can be extremely valuable, but we shouldn't need to give up the privacy to use it. Venice AI utilizes leading open source AI models to deliver text, code, and image generation to your web browser. There's no downloads or installations. The Venice AI Pro plan unlocks the full platform, and features include PDF uploads or summaries, the ability to turn off safe mode for unhindered image generation, the ability to change how Venice interacts with you by modifying the system prompt, limitless text, and high image limits. If you want to use AI without fear or handing over your most intimate thoughts, Ryan, you can get 20% off the Pro plan by using my link, VeniceAI/Nerdrotic, VeniceAI/Nerdrotic, and use code Nerdrotic. Thank you very much.
I don't know why I was a part of that.
I just wanted to single you out.
There you go. I also still don't know why I'm egg in the thumbnail, and I also don't know how I'm bald in that thumbnail and my forehead is still bigger in real life than on the thumbnail. I don't get it.
Oh, come on. Egg was the standout character in this episode. You like
Dunk and Egg are perfect. They are legitimately perfect castings.
Yes.
And I hope that it plays over the same way for people who have not watched it. For me, they are the characters in the book brought to life. Some of the dialogue is straight from the books, but some of it is obviously added as well. The way they play off each other, like how innocent and naive Dunk is about some things in this world, despite him living in this world for quite some time, but always in the low level, never being experienced like up close to these type of people and these type of knights and things like that, compared to the knowledge that Egg has of this world for some apparent reason. And it's so perfect.
It's great. Egg is very perceptive and is smart, and the dynamic between the two is just a delight. Seeing what he picks up on versus what Dunk does, and the interactions between it. That was just a complete joy throughout.
The more
the entire
time goes
episode.
on, the clearer it gets that those two like fulfill the two halves that they're both missing in terms of like awareness of any given subject or particular like physical ability. They're both just like one solid person split in half. So it's just a classic way to create like a dynamic like that.
It's classic,
working out
but
great.
somewhat unconventional, because if you have the pairing of like the noble knight and the squire who's going to learn from them, but at the same time, even though he is seeking to be this sort of paragon, the fact that he doesn't have like a great understanding of how this world works compared to a kid who, for whatever reason, knows much more about it than he does, makes for like, oh, we're mixing up a little bit, right? It's like archetypal, but with a sort of a twist that's interesting and dynamic.
Well, on that note, what could have maybe improved this significantly is if you take Dunk and put maybe a mask on him so he can't speak, reduce his personality to one line per episode, and then change Egg into a baby
Who can't talk at all.
that probably would have improved this significantly.
Hey! Hey, there's
Metatron.
the man.
What's up?
Hi everyone. How you guys
How's
doing?
it
Hey
going?
Shad.
Hey, man, how are you?
Man, it's been a while. Hey everyone.
too
Hi.
What's up?
Greetings.
Hello.
Hey, Metatron, what are your quick general thoughts of the episode?
Yeah, I mean it's I had some fun with the joust a little bit. Not the joust, the preliminary evening joust show. So that one was kind of fun. I don't know what to tell you. Like I'm not particularly impressed with the show, but maybe it's
Wow,
also
you'll
the
be in the
humor.
minority here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, the question would just be like, how do
Yeah.
you feel on a historical or accuracy or authenticity level versus a character level?
I have to keep telling myself it's not set in the real world.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'm
Hang on.
gonna flip the table.
Well, wait,
Metatron-
hold on.
Metatron-
You're telling me that in the middle of a joust, when somebody like falls off and a horse is running by and they jump on it and swing way down and pick up the fucking shield, like I watched that and I was like, that looked fucking awesome. But I also knew that you guys were gonna be like, well, that would never happen, you know?
No, you know what's kind of funny is that in reality, in the real medieval joust, your purpose is not to dismount your opponent, it's just to break your lance. That's how you score points. Now, has it happened that people fall? Yes, but that's not the point of the joust. Whereas oftentimes in movies, that's what looks like. It looks like you have to unhorse them to get
Well,
the points, which could be possible. It's a different world, you know, but
Yeah,
in,
so
in our world.
It is a different world. My interpretation, as not a student of what you guys are experts in, has always been that you get certain points for breaking a lance, and then unhorsing somebody you get even more and potentially end the fight, depending. And then sometimes they would continue to fight even if they were both unhorsed. You know, and
Yeah,
That's
that
the-
depends on the type. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's the tricky thing because there was no unified, agreed upon rules for the joust. So, medieval period, very big area over a long period, and they had individual rules for individual tourneys throughout many different periods in history. And oftentimes, yeah, they could be agreed upon by the Lord and whatnot. What we kind of have the interpretation now is being popularized as people think is the standardized format, but there were various different, scoring methods all throughout the past. But in terms of getting triggered by history, Metatron, what did you think of the armor when he went to the armorer?
First is the ocularia, which is why I surrounded myself with helmets to be as pedantic as possible, so that make sure the nerdrotic audience really understands how much of a pain in the neck I am, and so they can all hate me. Look how thin. Look how thin. This is a real, like a well-made reproduction. And oftentimes in movies and games, they make it this open.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but while the reality is you should barely be able to see my eyes for obvious reasons. I mean, in some of the helmets that people were wearing, you could thrust the entire lance inside that
in their
thing.
face, but it
Yeah.
still looks cool. It's just not
It
very
does.
practical.
Yeah. Or this, for instance, is really the one that usually you
The
think
frog
of.
mouth.
The
There's
frog
the
mouth
one.
helmet. Still, though, it's just one of those things, that protection. Anyway,
Well, what's really cool about the frog mouth, right? You
Yeah.
lean down and you can see, and then
Yes.
as soon as you lean up, full
Yeah,
protection on
full
the
protection. I
eyes.
freaking love it.
But you
Yeah.
can't see.
No, you
But
can.
you
You
can't-
can.
Okay.
You can see, but you can't see like below here. So you will see well in the front. Even peripheral vision is not bad. Having worn it, of course, I wear it every day. I don't leave my house without it. But the front plate prevents lower vision. But then
Well,
again, your horse is there, so
That's my life.
It's going to be very interesting to see throughout the next 4 episodes, because there's actually a certain plot point in this story that gets addressed of knights that are using just the normal slit versus the very fancy ones and the big openings and the ones that hinge up and all these things. It actually becomes a major plot point.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, I like
throughout
that.
this book. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see how they deal with that.
Yep.
We'll come back to the lads on this as well. But Ryan, what do you think of the Kingsguard armor?
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking loved
They
it.
got
Is
it.
it the white one?
Yes,
Yeah,
they
the
got
white
it
one.
right.
That
Third
was
show,
good. That was
they
good.
finally get it right.
They finally get the Kingsguard armor looking
Cool.
what it should resemble in terms of
Yes.
like the all white. It's still with the decorations for everybody, but I loved it. And those 3 Kingsguard that you did see are going to play a role in things to come as
Yeah.
well. And I thought they looked great, and I did like the little interaction that Dunk has with them as well.
So
yeah, it was
in terms
inspiring
of
for him temporarily.
in terms of armor quality, they have really stepped it up in with what the main characters are wearing. The armor off to the side, like the one that I was making fun with Metatron in the armorer stuff, it's interesting. Technically, it's a step up from what they usually do, which is fantasy bullcrap. And now instead we get LARP grade cheap crap, but at least it's better than what they used to do.
It's mostly the
not,
mix. It's mostly the mix because it goes all the way up to 16th century if you look at the barding.
Oh yeah,
then,
anachronistic all across.
But then again, I mean, we're bitching about it just to bitch. But then again, at the end of the day, once again, it's a different world. I actually appreciated that they have the evening prequel to the joust during the day because that did happen in the Middle Ages, and I kind of like that they took inspiration from that. That was cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting references if you're a medieval nerd, which I'm loving. And yeah, with fantasy, you can kind of mix it all
it's
in. But
fine.
George,
It's fantasy. So
yeah, it's a world with not dragons right now, but it still has a little bit of magic. They dude. So we're getting a little. What they're adding to this is a little more about Sir Arlen of Pennytree, aside from his giant hog.
His giant hog.
That was insane.
Well, that's where half the budget went, was just on the material needed for Sir Arlen's prosthetic dick.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I had to be careful. I had to just get past that point so I don't accidentally throw it up on screen. But because we only know what Dunk has ever said in the books, and we're just getting to see this now. And the last episode, it didn't make him look that great. It made it look like that Dunk might have a nicer idea of him than what he really was. But this one, we got a little more, and you see that he's a little more, I won't say fatherly, but he doesn't hate Dunk, and it looks like he did take it's complicated. Well, like all relationships are.
I'm glad that they showed Ireland wasn't always a complete arsehole. No, he did look after him and taught him how to be a knight and cared for him. And that was a good balance. It's like, okay, we see a bit more nuance with him now.
Well, it's, if Dunk is a good guy and this is like the primary influence in his life, whatever flaws he may have had, there must have been some good elements to him that helped forge this man into a much better man.
He knew what a knight should be. He didn't really embody it, but it's now gone to, Dunk, who's going to try his best to embody it himself. It's there's a lot there. It's very realistic.
Well, and I think it's kind of clear that Dunk has he has a skewed perspective of Sir Arlen because it's like his only experience and all these things. And now seeing the fact that nobody remembers him. And that's what the first scene is about. The reason you're getting the flashback is Dunk talking about Sir Arlen to, I think he's talking to someone from House Florent. I think he's talking to someone from House Tyrell, and I forget the other one. But it's all people that he's had, like he's been in their service at some point, and so he's trying to remind them of Sir Arlen of Pennytree, and they're all like, "Yeah, I basically don't give a fuck. I don't know who you're talking about." And so as Dunk has these good memories of him, he's beginning to realize that maybe Sir Arlen wasn't shit. Like maybe hedge knights aren't shit. As much as I heard about how honorable a life this is it really if you've lived 60 years, you've been a knight for 60 years, never won shit, and no one remembers you? So
yeah, it's rough.
It is rough. I'm just being really careful here in the beginning.
No, that's right. You should.
Sort of like back end thing out of curiosity. So the Grey Lion is the Lord of Castle Rock currently, at least like in this timeline. Is it his kid or his kid's kid that would be Lionel? No, Taito, sorry, not Lionel.
So this takes place 80 years before?
It's 100, right?
Somewhere around there. 180 years, like 80 to 100 years before Game of Thrones, somewhere in that area, I guess. So probably Tidos's father, I would guess.
All right. Just curious.
Tydos is Tywin's father, so I believe so.
I always love the story of how like House Clegane got started, or like in a significant way. It would be cool to see that with the lions and shit. and Titos, but there's no wheel. I don't know if there's any show that would fit into timeline wise. Is it? Maybe it's like a memory.
Yeah. Well, Dan and Dave never liked to use flashbacks, which would have come in handy a lot
I mean,
during Game of Thrones, but you know.
hey, they did the Tower of Joy. Oh, I guess that doesn't count because
it's a memory.
Yeah. Whatever. Fuck off.
Well, they went back on it later. They did the Cersei thing too, but they had swore they would never do it. So it's 90 years before Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So it's 90 years before Game of Thrones. So here he is. Oh, wait. I want to get there. He's talking to the Tyrells.
He's talking to Tyrell. He's talking to Florent because Florent caught my ear. And I forget the second name he mentioned, but yeah.
Do you think this show is built such that it assumes that the vast majority of fans of it have seen Game of Thrones?
I don't think so.
You don't? I had the feeling.
Really?
Yes.
But I could be wrong.
I don't. I think so. Yes. I don't think that means that you need to have watched it, but just the way that they look, the sigils that you get to see, the way the Targaryens are presented and the things they show us with the way the Targaryens are presented, it is supposed to tell you that this is different than what you've seen before, but you still have like some perspective on who the Targaryens are, you know?
I think
it's certainly connected, but I don't think you need to have watched anything else.
No, not need necessarily, no.
Well, so there's kind of two things about that was making me think about it. So the first was the Targaryen stuff, because it's like the first show you watch, they were extinct basically, and then one caused major issues for everyone all over the place. Game of Thrones. Then House of the Dragon, they're the most significant and flourishing family, and it's already near collapse. Like it's you know, so like basically they play a huge role in both shows to the point where everyone recognizes their sigils now pretty easily, I would have assumed.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they turn up, the show does make a thing of like, oh shit, look who it is. You know these guys. It's like, ooh. In the same way, I think, you know, the Stark Wolf, if that shows up at any time, the show is like, yeah, we know you know what that is. Like the Starks have a sort of prestige if they turn up in any show. They did in House of the Dragon. I felt like when they referenced the Starks briefly. So there's that, but there's also, I was curious if you think, you know, you mentioned it last stream, Ryan, but there's a line about Dunk in Game of Thrones so that a lot of people could know a significant part of his fate. Do you think this show is playing with that knowledge, or do you think they're kind of hoping you've forgotten?
I reckon most people missed it completely in the show.
I think they probably assume the only people that know the fate of these characters are like book readers.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what they assume.
I think
that's relatively
and it'll
fair.
grab a bunch of new people. There's going to be people interested in this who have never watched the other two.
I mean, it's not entirely comparable, but I mean, the Red Wedding and Ned Stark did surprise a lot of people. And those books have been out forever, but they didn't reach the heights.
Surprised me.
I mean, I'd say that's probably generally the case. Is usually the book is just less people read books. So that doesn't surprise me, I suppose.
No. And I highly recommend that people read this. And what is interesting, because Shad has said this before, and I remember, you know, selling the Hedge Knight comics at my shop, and people were introduced to Song of Ice and Fire through that. So that was the first thing they read. It's not entirely unusual. And you can read this without reading any of the other books. And it works perfectly as a story.
It's kind of the awesome thing about mediums, right? Like I knew a lot about Marvel before 2008, not because of anything to do with any comics, but video games. I was like, I know these guys. I played as them. And then you read like the fucking, you know, descriptions, profiles, or interactions and stuff. And it's just kind of interesting how you can create a whole new fan base without any knowledge of the format it began in.
Just because we did mention the Hedge Knight, Gary, is it all right if I go ahead?
Absolutely.
So, Mike S. Miller, the artist for the Hedge Knight, is a mate of mine. I stream with him. He also did the artwork for Shadow the Conqueror. Unfortunately, the poor guy just had a stroke last week, and so he's in recovery at the moment. Last update I had, he probably has 10% use of one side of his body. We hope that he'll have a full recovery, but it's pretty darn rough on the poor guy. And he's a good guy. He's a mate of mine. He's the artist of, you know, Hedge Knight right here, and he did such a great job on it. So there is a fundraiser going on Give Send Go for anyone who wants to help him recover. It'll be greatly appreciated. And so we'll drop a link in there. The fundraiser is there. You could also go to his website and grab original Hedge Knight art that he has available, and that would also support him, and then you get something pretty awesome, a bit of memorabilia, and that's MikeSMillerArt.com and the Give Send Go, and we'll drop the link, and if anyone can support him, that would be really appreciated. That sucks what's happened to him, and he's a good bloke, and he needs some help, and it's particularly linked to the subject of the stream, of course.
Yes.
So,
yeah. No, we love Mike. Mike was at our very first meetup where I met Ryan.
That's true. Yeah.
And he gave me a Dunkin' Egg page.
hey.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for everyone.
Yeah, no. Get better, Mike. We love you, man.
Absolutely.
So we get some background of Sir Arlen of Penetry, a little more context, but it also helps the development with Dunk. Ryan, you said it earlier, the casting for this show is kind of perfect. Even with Makar being, like they said, he looks a little too old. I think it's fine.
Makar and Baylor are both too old.
Yes.
But they both embody the characters.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think they did a fantastic job of just little tiny things here or there to really give you a perspective on these two characters. And this is the first time we're seeing the Targaryens. Well, it's the first time we're seeing the Targaryens, and they're announced, and they arrive, and thank God they remember to put the right amount of feet on the fucking dragon, which will not happen throughout the entirety of this show. But and they arrive and they're announced, and it's like, Baelor Breakspear, hand of the king, heir to the Iron Throne, protector of the realm, and his brother Makar.
Yep.
And it's funny. There's a lot of funny moments in the show, but it's a funny moment, but it also is very purposeful, and it shows you even the look that he gives, and it's like, okay, Baelor is presented as this kind of perfect fucking hand of the king, and everybody really idolizes him, and Makar is his younger brother, and that's just the way that they're thought of. And as you get from the dialogue that Dunk kind of eases in on, you start to hear Makar bitching and moaning about all these things about his kids that are fucking up, and he's got younger brother syndrome, and his fucking kids aren't as good as Baelor's kids, and that's his fucking life. That is Makar's life as a younger brother to Baelor Breakspear.
I was so amused by Dunk being pulled into the room and then him broadly explaining his issue, and Makar just being like, "What the fuck are you doing? What? Like, what? Why are we dealing with this? Like, what? Go away."
But it was a great introduction to the older brother, because he's a decent guy. He remembers and he takes pity on Dunk, and it's like, all right, this is a good character.
A perfect hand to the king, a really good Targaryen, which doesn't happen all the time. He's got a little drop of the Royan in him, or maybe more than that, because he's Dornish. That's why he's got dark hair, and just everything. He's the embodiment of chivalry, as Dunk says when he's trying to overpraise him. And this episode really, it's hard. You can't not like Dunk.
I mean, he's super charming in his own way. It's one of the things that makes this show, like, on its face kind of interesting to me, is that if the other stories are about like the most powerful people in this world and how many of them are kind of scoundrels and selfish and scheming constantly, like, it feels like there's an innate appeal to, there's this guy, he wants to be like a knight and help people, and that's what he wants to do. And he's like very sort of, on the, I guess you could say, like, ground level compared to all of these other people. And it feels like, because you were talking about how this would come across to somebody who's not, very familiar with Game of Thrones, but it kind of does feel like he's just sort of coming in and out of like bigger stories that aren't really about him at the moment in these first couple of episodes of encountering really important people. And he's just got like a really simple thing, like, oh, well, what are you doing here? Are you here to betray me or to beg for something from me? And it's like, well, I just want to eat some food. It's like very amusing.
He's super sincere, and that doesn't exist in this universe very much.
He's got just a naive, earnestness to him that really gets you invested. And they did that really well, especially towards the end of this episode, where he's really reflective. You get even more of, his personal struggle, and it just endears you to the character. Dunk is just a phenomenal character I've loved since the graphic novel, and they're doing great with this adaptation.
Well, I'm just on board with his quest, man.
Yeah.
I hope he makes it.
Yeah. It's the classic, rooting for the underdog thing, and then they really play into that. It's like he is a big underdog, and now he's doubting himself because, like that they sold that when he's watching the joust and he's seeing these knights kick ass, and he's thinking, "Holy crap! What chance do I have? I'm screwed."
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go.
So this is 6 episodes this season, and it feels like these first couple of episodes he's been confronted with relatively mundane sort of challenges that he has to navigate. Like, it's not very high stakes. It matters a lot to him, but it doesn't matter that much in the world. So like I suppose what I'm curious about, given that there have been certain pretty prominent theme lines at this point, like indicating about, what's to come in the future for him. What'll be interesting is seeing how he's challenged more when the situations become more high stakes and more complicated, rather than him just in this situation trying to get into this, tourney so that he can move up a little bit in the world. What happens when he's confronted with real dilemmas?
I think you'll see that going forward.
Yeah, wait till the next episode, man. Wait till the next episode.
I think you'll see that going forward, and you're spot on though. Like, these are not high stakes things in the grand scheme of the world, but to an individual person, it is the highest stake. Like, he is, the scene of him selling Sweetfoot is probably what I thought was like one of the more touching scenes from this entire thing, and probably will be a touching scene from the entire thing. And I think they've played that up really well with how he speaks to the horses, and how he even speaks to horses that he doesn't know. And him making the decision to sell Sweetfoot to get enough money to pay for armor that he very may well lose in his first joust, in his first attempt. Because that's the thing, right? If you lose,
that's their rule. Yeah.
If you lose, you lose your horse, you lose your armor, you lose everything. And you either have to ransom it back and buy it back from the person you lost to, or they just get to keep it. That is the end of his life, basically, if that happens to him. So even though it's not high stakes in the grand scheme of things, it's very high stakes for an individual in his first attempt,
And I think that I was just saying, I find narratively that's much easier to relate to as an audience. Sometimes it's hard to really understand the world is at threat and everything like that, because it's so divorced from our point of reference. But in terms of risking everything like that you rely on for your livelihood and your current station and stuff, you can understand that. You can feel the risk that is embedded with it. And then they sell it with that emotion that Dunk has. And I thought the acting was great. You see him, almost tearing up when they're selling Sweetfoot there. That was brilliant. And then it connects you, and it's good storytelling. And that's why sometimes these stories actually, on a smaller scale, can have a stronger emotional kind of impact, because we can understand and relate to it easier.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just totally correct. And I think that there's a lot of technique. I don't want to make it sound like it's too grand, but even down to the soundtrack being like pretty understated by comparison to, when you look at House of the Dragon, where it's much grander and louder, I suppose you could say. Whereas here it's like even the music, the main theme for this show is kind of folksy and rustic. Feels like it sort of helps further push, like, this is a story about kind of a regular guy in this world.
A horrible world. A horrible world. It's such a rare thing, and guys like him usually die pretty quickly or pretty badly because of their naivete. And it's going to be interesting to see how he navigates the conflicts to come, because
not in any way to spoil, but like, this whole, the way they've done this to create this small element of the world, this, so to speak, small guy, not just figurative, like just working his way. It's like we're about to spike in terms of the stakes, like it's gonna change dramatically. But it's good to get this out of the way, because that's kind of the idea. Whereas we had a POV character in someone like Ned Stark, or one of the Targaryens as their house is, you know, collapsing, whatever. This is just Guy. He is Guy. He is. Lives
He
in a
doesn't
hedge.
matter.
Yeah.
Like he does not matter in this fucking world. And he's obviously going through and realizing that. He understands that. And even Egg is sitting there, you know, as he's begging these knights to have some memory of the knight who served them and did all these things. Egg's like, why do you care what these like royal assholes think? Like, why does it matter to you? Fuck them. Just do what you want. And he's like, hey, you're you're too smart mouth for your own good. You can't say things like that.
Yeah, it's like they are my betters. But I loved that those lines.
Good line.
Because
if we can say it's just to appreciate the layers there, man. Like,
there's
you've got
going on.
Dunk feels like almost a responsibility to be like to teach him how to speak properly about his bet as well. Meanwhile, you've got someone who's like, you don't know what you're talking about.
But it also shows like already Egg holds Dunk in higher regard than all these large nobles. And man, it's like I loved Egg in this episode. Like as much as I love Duncan, I realized Egg was the standout.
Egg was great.
Here. He was just so good. And that scene is a good example of why I love it, because it shows that he has like this goodness about him as well. So much so that he actually sees the value in Dunk, who everyone just throws it off, you know, is useless, is not worth a thing, is worthless to be disregarded. But Egg actually sees that this is a decent, honorable man. And it seems like from Egg's perspective, that isn't common, and he's latched onto him. And Egg is showing so much respect to him, constantly calling him sir and everything like that.
My lord.
My lord, yep. Really, really good. And just another thing that I want to mention, what I
should have learned from Tywin, if you're trying to pretend like you're lowborn, it's not my lord.
My lord.
It's my lord.
My lord.
My lord. Yeah. My liege.
Well,
I also love that
that's
they showed
technically Roose too. So
true in the book.
Yes.
I love that they still have Egg a young boy. He's a young boy who loves the ideals of heroism and is fighting and is playing around, and he gets really invested in the joust.
Yeah.
Like these are just all things that young boys love, and it just brings the character in full completion for me, that this is still a young, impressionable boy with kind of, you know, perhaps even an idealistic or naive view of what things are. But at the same time, he has a different view that Dunk doesn't have. And just a winning character around that felt.
I loved him in the scene where they were trying to figure out what symbol or sigil to put on the shield. And it felt like Egg was like the wingman to his intelligence, like trying to make him not look like an idiot.
Desperately trying and failing.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like it starts off with them trying to convince them, and then, you know, Egg has that talk with Dunk about, you know, they are my betters, you know, don't speak that way about, you know, knights and lords and stuff. And then you hear the horns blasting, and the Targaryens are coming in. There's a line where Dunk asks somebody, hey, who are they announcing? And some little dude's like, fucking look at the sigils, you cunt, or something like that.
Giant cunt, I think he said.
Yes. And it's all the Targaryens. Now, and a reminder that this is Ashford. This is not really the highest end town or castle or lord or lands in Westeros. This is kind of a backwards turn, a backcountry tournament that the Targaryens need to show up to now, because they, as we talked about last time, people are starting to question their power now that the dragons have been gone for a good long time now. People are like, what do we need to fear about the Targaryens? So they have to do a lot more work than they've done in the past to keep the lords happy, and to show the people that they are still firmly in power and they, you know, deserve the throne. And it's important for them to show up. Now, Maekar might be doing something a little reckless by having his sons compete in this tournament, which, you know, Baelor mentions, and we meet one of his sons right here, Aerion Brightflame, who is going to be exactly the asshole you think he's going to be.
I love him because I hate him so much. It is Draco Malfoy vibes. Like that.
It is.
That's what Arion gives off. And whether you want to compare him to like Joffrey or something like that, there's plenty of characters that are like this in the Game of Thrones universe, but he gets like 3 or 4 lines when he's introduced to Dunk. One, he assumes he's a stable boy and says, quit standing around, take my horse. And he's like, oh, sir, I'm not a stable boy, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, what, too stupid or not smart enough?
Good answer.
And then he's like, well, at least get me something to eat and quench my thirst. He's like, oh, I'm not a serving man either. I'm a knight. He's like, huh. Knights sure have fallen on hard times these days, and just like saunters away, basically like Draco Malfoy calling Ron Weasley poor.
Yep.
Like it's great.
And also
the asshole you want him to be.
And just think about the efficiency of that character interaction, where just with a couple of lines, we know this asshole, like the type of person he is and who he is, and it's just there's good layered dialogue. This is the type of stuff I've been missing, man. We don't get this in modern TV shows these days, where it's nice, efficient, and also complex dialogue that gets done quickly and establishes a character so well.
No. People who haven't read the books are going to start. What you realize that as episodes go on, that certain dialogue means a lot more than what it sounds like on face value. If that makes any sense, without spoiling anything.
Mhm.
There's a lot, and I'm sure a lot of people have already guessed it, but I'm not gonna blab it here.
Let's see the white armor. It's just a couple of like.
The only thing about the armor that I will say that I just can't stand gorgets over the breastplate, because the gorget is supposed to be under the breastplate. Now, hate me all you want. Tell me it's a different planet. I just cannot untrain my eye. So I don't know what to do about that.
It is kind of choking
Help
them
me.
there, isn't it?
Help me. Help me.
It looks cool,
But it does look good. It does look good.
Here is the thing. It is such a step up from what we have gotten in fantasy for so long. Is it perfect? Well, no, it's not. Like a real armor is thicker and it's more form fitting and it's tailored more and stuff like that. But it is such an improvement from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, for sure. Someone was asking. I'm sorry. Someone was asking. Yeah, the gorget is the collar, the plate collar. Sorry. Go ahead, Shed.
Right. Oh no. Right there. I'm just backing you up, mate.
And
no, I could understand that probably wouldn't be that practical, but either are helmets with giant dragon wings on there, or a big hound head, or giant fucking antlers coming out, which is completely impractical. But man, the show's going to be filled with them.
It's the fact
I'm
that
actually fine with that.
the fact that it's shocking that they're in their white armor is crazy. Like,
Isn't
we've
it?
had 10 seasons of them spending hundreds of millions of dollars on Game of Thrones, and then the spinoff House of the Dragon. And this is the first time we actually get the armor that is described from the book, which is so simple and also just fucking badass. It's white. It's cool. It's awesome.
And it looks better. It looks better than either of the King's Guard. They look muted. They don't look special. They're supposed to look special. Right?
Are they now going to try and argue like the design changed in universe over time?
That's probably what
they probably can. I mean,
you could try to, but one iteration is set before and the other is set after.
Oh, that's true.
Well,
no, of course. I mean that they would argue this was considered outdated, I guess, and they changed the other one.
But that's what I'm saying is like we
Yeah.
had that. We already have a show which is House of the Dragon is set before this happens. You know what I mean? So
have to go to this and then back out of it again.
because centralized governments
come into fashion, go out of fashion.
Yeah, because centralized
Comes in
governments never
waves.
change stuff randomly for no fucking reason.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, the
we
symbolism.
had uniform
Yeah.
changes like 3 times when I was in the military for 11 years. So it does happen. It does.
But also, I like in actual fact, if they wanted to be more, representative of what happened in the medieval period, painted armor was more common than people realize.
Oh yeah, it's just a little cheap.
And so I wonder if we'll ever get full, brocaded kind of cloth. They did some of that in House of the Dragon, actually. Jupons and other things over top of armor. Man, I forget the exact name of one. But anyway.
something that Shad harps on, which he should, and my son harps on, is the lack of like this is still muted color wise, and even George has brought this up that the colors would be much brighter of the sigils, of the armor, of the furniture, of the tapestries.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Everything.
correct.
We're getting more of that in this one, though. Especially at the
better.
end when you see like the big joust. Like I was getting hard. Maybe not Sir Arlen big, but I was getting hard. Like
he wasn't even hard.
All the different sigils and the armor and stuff. It looked awesome. But
Yeah, and they had bright oranges, and I've seen some colors in there. It's fine. That's really cool.
you had the high tower green. You had you had the Tullys there. Kind of a long trip for the Tullys to make it there, but
it is.
And the reason he's talking to those Kingsguard is because as soon as Arion gets off his horse and just leaves them basically unattended, the actual people who are supposed to get it, they go up there to try to, get the horse. One of them gets kicked in the face, and Dunk immediately, steps in. And I think that's an important part of his character.
Yes.
He immediately steps in after seeing somebody just get like shoot in the face and calms the horse down. And even though it's not his job, calms the horse down, leads the horse in and talks to him and quiets him down. And that's when the Kingsguard come in, and the Kingsguard kind of take a little shot at Arion. You got 3 Kingsguard here. The rest are still back at King's Landing, obviously. But when you got Baelor and Makar and all these princelings running around, they got 3 Kingsguard to protect them on the road, which is a long trip from King's Landing to Ashford.
Yes.
And they just kind of have a talk, and Dunk almost gets inspired because who was it? Donald of Duskendale. Is like, hey, my family were crabbers. We were just humble crabbers, so just because you're of low birth, just because you're not part of a house doesn't mean you can't become something. And Dunk like takes inspiration from that. And that's when he sees a door left open into the castle, and he walks in and overhears something he shouldn't. Dunk stumbles into a lot of random things, and he overhears Makar and Baelor basically arguing after getting off the road after what was probably like a month and a half trip or something. Man, they really timed that well. They got there like the day, like the day before, really the day of, and it's supposed to start that night. They timed that well for a long journey like that.
They did. Well, hey, that's why he's the Hand of the King. And yes, the Hand of the King is in Ashford, which is kind of crazy. If you think about it in this situation, if you're aware of the books and like his responsibilities, and him being in some backwater fucking tournament is a little nuts. Especially one this important, and one that's this good, one of the better hands of the king, honestly. So Dunk overhears the conversation, and it's Makar is concerned about his missing 2 sons. His 2 sons went missing on the road. Not totally unheard of in Westeros, but it's Targaryen kids, so that's a little bit alarming. But they just seem to think they've either fallen behind or I don't know, but they have, of course, people out looking for them. And I wonder what will come of that. But then Dunk overhears that, and then Makar sees that he's standing by the door because he's not really subtle. He's like, "Why are you spying on us?" And he calls him in, and Dunk was waiting to see if somebody will remember Sir Arlen, and he decides to take a shot and ask Baelor if he remembers
the Hand of the King.
Ask the Hand of the King.
But I mean, Dunk obviously remembers that Arlen talked about jousting in the past, and so this was his last chance. He's asked everyone else, and so he goes for it.
I love the steward was standing at the table going, "No, don't."
Oh, dude, what a great contrast. The first episode where he just flippantly deals with Dunk and also like shits on, Ashford in a way, right? Making the joke about the Ashford chair, about, like, we don't take it that seriously or whatever. Yeah. Then you see him here and he's like petrified of like, please don't fuck this up. You shouldn't even be here. Like, what is happening?
Which, by the way, like, this is just writing. This is like telling stories. It feels like under better circumstances, it wouldn't need to be something to be complimented. As just how you write characters, because it's a fun dynamic. It's like, oh yeah, one time he was kind of a dick, this time he's like scared shitless. Meanwhile, Dunk is kind of the same in pretty much every interaction that he has.
But what's great about it, it sets such a kind of suspense of that scene with the steward guy crapping his dax and everything, because you don't know what could happen. Like, he could be sentenced to death for the being so impetuous in doing this, or it could work out. And so, even though I knew what was going to happen, I was just hooked on everything. Every single second of this show, I was completely attentive, sucked into everything. In this scene just as well, I was like, there was suspense going on, wondering what would happen, even though I knew it.
I can't wait to go back and rewatch it actually, just specifically for some of the dialogue portions, especially this, because in a 5-7 minute scene, however long this actually is, we get through a little bit of dialogue, we get very clear indication of who Baelor is and what we should feel about Baelor, who Maekar is and how we should feel about Maekar, and some of the problems that they're currently having. And like Maekar talking about his sons, talking about what fuck ups they are, and even being upset at Baelor because Baelor had the gall to say, your son doesn't necessarily belong in there. Thought he was insulting him when he's not really insulting him. He's just kind of looking out for his younger brother and looking out for his younger brother's kids. But Maekar immediately takes offense to it. Both of their reactions to when some lowly hedge knight, Maekar's like, why the fuck should I care about you? And why the fuck should I care about your hedge knight buddy who died? I don't care. Baelor, who has way more important things to do with his life and with this day, is immediately attentive to Dunk and listens to him and considers what he has to say. And just from the knowledge that Baelor remembers Sir Arlen, remembers this random, he probably saw his dick, honestly. That's what he did. But
that's why he remembers him.
The fact that he remembers these things, that he remembers he fought the Gray Lion, that he remembers he fought at this place, that he did well, that he overturned somebody in some melee. And of course, the fact that he fought him himself at one point. It speaks volumes to who Baelor is. His temperament speaks volumes to how much different he is than a lot of other people in positions of power that we've ever seen in Westeros. And it speaks volumes to why people hold him specifically in such high regard.
Kind of important.
Yeah.
And the fact that he, again, remembers Sir Arlen and remembers how many God, why am I blanking?
Lances.
Yeah. He broke 4 lances, and then Dunk,
7.
being a fucking idiot, goes, no, he broke 7. And he's all, oh shit. And that's the point of the book where it's Dunk Lunk.
Because the castle, because that could be really insulting. That's essentially saying that he lied, and it's this impertinent, hedge knight. And so Dunk actually realizes oh crap, what did I just do? But then his response is great. He's like, yeah, oftentimes tales grow with the telling, and he just, he rolls past and doesn't take offense.
Baelor's not got a big ego.
That is so true. So there is one person in chat, Jose Ataco. He was asking, can you tell us what a hedge knight is? Do you mind if I answer him?
Not at all.
Basically, it's a knight errant, a knight with no land, usually no lord, no money. It's that simple. Going around.
They sleep in the hedges, right?
Yeah,
they sleep under trees. They sleep in the hedges for protection. They don't sleep in a castle. They're not under one specific lord who exactly do whatever. They just kind of roam around. Yeah.
But they can go into they can go into the service of a lord for a certain period of time, for as long as needed, and then they can either choose to move on. And there are times when they can be hired and become an actual, permanent knight of someone.
Household knight, yeah.
It's like Dunk said, right? There's almost more honor, like Arlen tried to tell him, there's more honor to a hedge knight than any other knight, because it's you're fighting for individual causes all the time and across all the world instead of a single house or a single person.
Yeah, unless you get desperate, and because if you get desperate, you could end up into banditry. Is that a word?
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's the idea.
And in some ways, a hedge knight like the one Dunk is aiming to become, who is honorable, who is looking to do the right things. And we have so many examples in the Game of Thrones universe of people that are lords or people that are knights that are absolute massive piles of shit. Look at some of the Kingsguard in the Game of Thrones series and who they are and their actions. And they are not behaving knightly, but they have the title, they have the names, they have the lands, they have all these things, but they're not acting the right way. Where the idea that a hedge knight who doesn't have all of those things and is still doing the right things to get by in the world is
only the title
honorable. If you
would only have the title,
even if you might not be a knight.
In that case, yeah, with him.
This is like, I don't want to give spoilers, but that's essentially what this story is about a true knight. That's a rare thing in this book. Exactly. And that's a rare thing. And someone who loves
true knights among you.
Exactly. Like someone who loves the romantic idealized form of chivalry, and I know the historical context there. It is romanticized and idealized, wasn't always the historical thing. There is this kind of romantic noble ideal that was spread about in the medieval period as well. People wanted and embraced it back then, even though it wasn't always fulfilled. But there is something awesome about it, this idea of a higher form of nobility and moral conviction and stuff. And this is one of the rare stories where I think George actually, embraces it a bit, and it's my favorite.
Well, this should be the bomb that people need on the whole nihilism accusation, right? Like, as soon as Drinker watches this, I assume he'll be very happy.
I think he will be. So we have Tanzel Too Tall here, who's
the reason he goes there is, well, one, to look at the chick that he thinks is hot, but two, because as he's leaving, so Baelor says, yeah, I remember Sir Arlen. I see no reason that you can't compete. And that is Dunk's, because that is the first obstacle to this thing. He gets the clearance from the fucking hand of the king himself. Yes. He gets clearance to compete in the tournament. And as he's walking out, he recognizes the crest on his shield. And Baelor's like, hey, just so you know, you're not his blood. By the rules, you have to come up with a sigil of your own. You can't use his. And that's the next thing Dunk has to get done. And it just so happens that he knows some artsy fucking people that he's walked by so far.
He's a little puppet show with Florian the Fool.
I do like there's sort of, Egg's perspective, channeling the audience a little bit of like, how the fuck did you do that? Like with the puppets? Like how enormous they were, the fire. It's like, no, it's like HBO production. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's a lot different in the book when they're just hand puppets, basically. Yeah. But maybe they got some Tyroshi money or something like that. Who fucking knows? But yes, this is what's funny is this actress's name is close to her character's name. So it's Tanzel Too Tall, and it's Tanzin, played by Tanzin. Yeah. And she is tall. Well, I don't know if it's forced perspective or everything, but she is tall. And Dunk asks her to paint his shield.
And it is so just perfect. Because even if you don't know the story and everything, but you've been watching and you're getting familiar with the character, the fact that he hasn't thought of what sigil to ask for before.
That's great.
It's just perfectly in line with his character, who he is. And then Egg's response to it is also great, where he's like, you don't even know, basically. And
then comes up with a really cool idea for it.
Yeah,
it's like a really cool idea for a sigil, the tree and then the shooting star. It's like, that shooting star, right? It feels like that could, because I'm not super familiar with this, but I know that Egg is like of significance in this world. So it could be like, oh, that's what a crazy sort of coincidence, I suppose, that these two characters would encounter each other.
Yeah, when they're introduced, he's all, I am Sir Duncan the Tall, and she goes, well, I'm called Tanzel Too Tall, and he's all, I don't think you're too tall. You're just right for. And
Egg just looks at him like, you are such a fucking moron.
It's fun when you get those lines from the book and then you're like, will they be able to nail it? And then they just absolutely
I think they did. That was funny.
Yeah. And she is depicted as tall, as she's like, I just looked up the actress. Apparently she's like 6 foot tall or something.
Oh, okay.
Pretty tall for a woman.
Yeah.
She is a very, very tall character, which is, I guess, right up Dunk's alley.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's the field is supposed to be the color of sunset, elm tree,
An elm tree. Yep.
elm tree, and a shooting star, and this shield shows back up again somewhere much later on.
Oh, okay. I heard somebody say that the
Well,
shield they saw the shield at a later part in this episode. I didn't recognize it. Somebody said like they made a mistake and he had the shield, but I didn't see it.
I didn't see that either. But his shield shows up in A Song of Ice and Fire later on in the books.
Yeah.
Peace for Christ.
Hopefully, I don't know if they've gone past it now, or are they going to keep the origin of the sigil for the Dondarian house, right? The purple lightning.
Oh, the origin of it?
Yeah, like I hope they mention it because it's not in the show yet, right? They haven't said it.
I don't think so. No, not in the show. They've said it. They
You know,
talked
obviously
about it in the books. Yeah, but
yeah, and I was just like, have they gone past where that would be now? Because it would be.
they have now that you know Mahler because you listened to the book.
Found a way around the whole reading problem.
There you go. They've switched things around time wise, so a couple things happen in the first episode that happened later on in the book, but it still works, right? A lot. It's not like 100% book accurate, but a lot of the dialogue is straight from the books, and that was the biggest problem with Game of Thrones once they got past the books. Dan and Dave had to interpret George's dialogue, which is kind of, his world building's pretty good, but his dialogue, particularly with Tyrion, is fucking next level. So that's what they're missing. So as long as, and we're not going to have this problem for 3 seasons anyway. And
don't worry, gave them the outlines just like you gave Dan and Dave. It's really hard. It's really, I have loved. It's like I really like the first episode. Now I'm all in on the show. I love the second episode so much. So I'm digging the show so much. It's so hard not to be mad because this fat, useless commie piece of shit, George R. R. Martin, won't write his fucking books, and we're gonna have the same issue when it's like, hey, this is really successful. Let's do more. And George is like, well, don't worry. I give them my outlines. You gave Dan and Dave the outlines too. And now you're changing the entire story because you didn't like the way it ended. But that's so 5 years down the road. We'll talk about that, I guess.
Just so we're clear, because this is definitely going to happen. They will continue this series, right? And they will take over where George has written. And then will like possibly crash and burn.
As long as George still gets along with the showrunner past the first season,
as if that's gonna happen.
Well, a lot of ifs.
The thing is,
ifs involved in this
series, if the first 2 episodes are anything to go by, this is going to be really, really good. I hope they keep up the quality. There's no guarantee, but if they do, this series, I think will be the best Game of Thrones media, live action media produced so far, and that means they're going to go all in on the next 2 seasons. And if they're just as good, they're going to want to keep going keep pushing that gravy train as long as possible, even after what George. And
then it'll have the same fate.
And we don't know what's going to happen.
This is the problem. The first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones are some of the best fucking television you've ever put to screen. So, like, let's get 3 good seasons and.
Well, because like if that's the thing, right? Let's just pretend the 3 seasons get made for the 3 first books, and they're all as good as we would, top quality, and they are authentic and stuff. I would just and there's no new book. I'd be like, oh fuck.
The worst case scenario is you get 3 seasons of really good TV, and it won't leave you hanging. Like there's no Jon Snow bleeding out. Well, I'm talking about the book here. It won't leave you hanging, or it won't have a shitty ending. You can have these 3 books, tell these 3 stories, walk away, and you're fine.
Yeah, because like I've read the first one. I'm halfway through the second, and I'm hoping to do all 3. But like the way I see it is, even the first season, if it wraps the same way the book does, that's solid on its own. They're
self-contained stories.
Yeah.
There are some little threads and things like that, but they're very much, the novellas are, for people that don't know, there are 3 Dunk and Egg novellas, 3 Dunk and Egg short stories that exist. George has said he has ideas for 10 stories. And
sorry, I just find it funny because he doesn't finish anything.
And he's given outlines to Ira Parker of those.
It should be clarified, the whole he doesn't finish anything. It's like he doesn't do anything. Like he did
I just find it funny him saying like, "Oh, I've got all these ideas," and just knowing that he doesn't write anything. like
I guess he helped on Elden Ring, and he's done pieces of things or whatever.
But why is he doing that? Why?
Well, I mean, the big theory that is just going to win out is that he got terrified after the reaction to the show. It's the most obvious.
When will he come to admit that though?
Never.
I mean, he has like alluded to it, right? Like the show's reactions definitely made him change a whole bunch of shit. And even Ryan, I was watching your coverage with it. So that clip, where he's like, my book is not going to end the same way as the show. Then everyone starts fucking clapping and like cheering.
It's like, it's not going to end the same way. The show ended, and his book won't. So that is different.
I mean, what I more so commented on is just like how much it's just sealed in fucking stone. The end of that show culturally, everyone is just like, what a catastrophe.
People even reference it now, right? You don't want to do a Game of Thrones season 8, right? Stranger Things season 5 was often compared to Game of Thrones season 8.
You don't want to do that. That's why I did it.
And it's frustrating because like the more I hear him talk and go around on these tours and speak at Oxford and like do all this stuff, the more it pisses me off because he's just trying to do things to win public support for himself while not doing anything, while not actually writing. And look, a lot of the stuff that happened in the last couple seasons of Game of Thrones was from George's outline, from George's notes that Dan and Dave took. Now, I've always said that there's so much else that happens from those books that even if you do have a lot of these events taking place, it could be in completely different reference in the way that it happens because of these extra characters. Like not having Aegon in the Game of Thrones TV show, I think throws everything into whack. If Aegon's in the TV show, I think it can make complete and total sense why Daenerys burns King's Landing to the ground. There are so many things that I think exist in some way, but could be fleshed out way better with George's thing. Now, I think that he's so scared he's changing fucking everything.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why we're never going to get it done because he's changing everything and he's not really writing. He's not making any progress. And now he's just going out and saying, oh, my books went in that way. Clap for me, please. I like to be popular. Fuck you, George R. R. Martin.
Right. Would you like him if tomorrow he released everything, all the rest of the Duncan Egg books and the 2 remaining A Song of Ice and Fire books?
I would forgive him. Yeah.
Yes, immediately, and read the shit out of them, and
I
do
think
book clubs
you'd have
for the
still like a
rest of the time.
sliver of anger to be like, why did you do it that way, you piece of shit? Like, why wouldn't you read it?
Ryan is only as angry as he is because he cares. That's
of
what
course
because he cares.
You love to hate
it.
him. You hate
That's
to
it.
love him.
Lionel Baratheon, who is played perfectly in the show. Little small, he's much smaller than he is in the book. He's big.
That's my complaint. I really like him. I dig the character. He should be bigger.
I can't
The
pronounce
actor's
his
got
name.
the
Is he
energy.
Welsh?
He's Welsh?
I don't know. I can't pronounce his name. I just no. It's
Well, you can't pronounce a lot of things.
yeah. No.
Oh,
No. It's Daniel Ings. I was confusing him with somebody else. I can pronounce that.
Yes,
He's
famed
fucking
for his
great.
role in the Marvels, of course, and then secondarily The Gentleman.
The Gentleman. Eat the grain. You're a fucking chicken.
It's funny because like this is a very different character to the one he played in The Gentleman. In The Gentleman, he played such like a unhinged coward, but in this one, he's like this menacing, energetic, full of himself lord. Very
charming
different.
as well.
Yeah. Like good. Like just credit to the actor because of is pulling it off completely.
A lot of the menacing stuff seems to always have an undertone of like he's fucking around. He's fucking with you.
Yeah.
He's like this is the guy you want to go drinking with. He seems like a lot of fun.
And that's like kind of a thing with the Baratheons. I mean, they're more layered than that, but the Baratheons are known as, living hard, partying hard. And then they have an occasional complete asshole as a son or a father. But I think he embodies House Baratheon pretty well.
Yeah.
So
It's like in like The Laughing Storm, like this is a guy who if like somebody's putting up like a good fight against him or something, he just starts laughing at you basically. Like that's how he got his name. So I do think that like the energy is right for Lionel in general, but like overall casting's good. Like a guy with that energy and stuff, I like the character. Just should be a little bulkier.
It's another thing George does well, though. The laughing storm. There's just so much to make you think about why someone would get a name like that. Especially, obviously, the storm for the Stormlands, but still, just
Yeah.
good shit.
Well, he's really good at a lot of stuff, just not finishing.
And this scene, this scene comes immediately after actually what I think is one of the best and funniest scenes so far, which is Dunk and Egg just sitting there, having a drink and a little bit of bonding where Egg is like, you think I could ever be a knight? And he's like, yeah, of course you could. Yeah, why not? Dunk's like, I just made myself a knight, so of course, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
And Egg's like, I'm kind of scrawny, even for my age. And Dunk's like, yeah, you'll grow. He's like, everyone says I'm little. And Dunk's like, well, everybody used to call me, or everybody calls me stupid. And there's
just doesn't
this
say anything.
huge pregnant pause. And you get a shot of both of them, and Egg's just like waiting, but
you get
very good. And he's like, and he's like, what? He's like, what did you do when they called you stupid? Like, my problems aren't any of your business or something. It's so good. It's so funny. I loved it.
No, that was
I don't know if you could grab it, Gary, but the fucking sheer size difference between those two when they're sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
It was reminding me of the reason I referenced it of like Gandalf and Frodo sort of thing, where you've almost shrunk a person, but it's just really solid on the physical side of things, the casting, as well as both of the acting ability and the body language and stuff. Just like, look how small he is.
He's tiny. He's tiny. So we're so starved for good TV that when we have this small little show of basically a couple people walking around a Ren fair, it ends up being fucking great. And more has happened in these 2 half-hour episodes that might feel like, oh, nothing's happened. They're building to something. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
No, I believe it.
On the board.
Yeah, this is all very important groundwork for what's happening next, and it's still engaging, which is a credit to it. It's fun, but if people are thinking it's slow, just wait. This is necessary and important to lay the foundation.
We could technically do like a whole other episode or spoiler stream, right? We could just talk about all the things they're setting up.
I think I'm enjoying this more because I know what the story, what's happening, and so I'm picking up on all these great cues and foreshadowings, and because we know the characters and who's going on, and so there is reading between the lines, things that say that they're referencing someone else that other characters don't get, and everything like that. I'm loving it. I'm loving just seeing the layers of what's going on because I'm aware of who and what's going on.
A very strange direct comparison for that, because I watched the episode without the book, had the book, and then rewatched the episode. I really like the first episode. Came across way better after having read the book. So I was like, that's all what this is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they do a little tug of war. Dunk gets recruited by Lionel Baratheon into a tug of war, and then during the tug of war, Lionel Baratheon takes off to get a drink.
Yeah.
but then Dunk, he steps up, and that's a little curious. Like, pay attention to Dunk. He is big, but he's also strong. He's got
really
a lot
strong.
He's got more going for him than people realize.
So then we get to let's see. We got to get through. Oh, so here you go.
Yeah, the armor.
There we go. The armor geeks here.
I know. Look, the armor on the right of the screen. That's like you can buy that from LARP stores. And look, at least it's not fantasy crap. It's at least something. We're moving in the right direction, but we're not there yet.
No, and I think it's relevant too, because like part of Pate and his character, which I really enjoy, is that he takes armoring very seriously, pragmatically. So it's probably important to make sure you have the material to match it.
As well, it's nice and polished. At least it's not rusty, because in a lot of situations the armor looks like there are no squires taking care of it. So armor, it doesn't always have to be pearl polished, because that would be extremely expensive, which makes sense. In fact, he asked for a lot of money for the salad. I think he asked for 800. I don't remember the currency name.
800 stags. Yeah.
Thank you, stags. And he couldn't afford it. It makes sense. because it's super shiny polished. You could have added matte, or you could have added, if they really did nothing, you could have painted on it, and that would have lowered the price in the real Middle Ages. I mean, I do like in this picture though that you can see the salads on the left. I mean, they don't look bad. They don't look bad.
Yeah, it's when they get close up, especially that armor on the stand. You can see that that's barely a millimeter thick, probably half a mil, light grade. But the thing is, though, it is a step in the right direction. It's actually an improvement than what they had in Game of Thrones. And so the next step is, if all they need to do is contact a reenactor or some say, could we hire armor, borrow it, and just put it on set for a couple of days, and then done. Because obviously they bought it for their own set, props and stuff, and then that's how they assembled it. And because here is the thing, right? To buy a proper premium grade realistic set of armor these days, you need to fork out at least $1,000, if not $3,000, right? Like
for a suit.
Yeah, for a proper suit, yeah.
More than that. A lot more than that.
Yeah, and so I can understand that the prop department isn't going to fork out that much, but you could borrow it. There's a lot of reenactors I think would be very happy to, have their harness featured on set to get the proper look, because they put in a lot of effort to it. If you see the armor these actual jousters wear, it is amazing. And one of the guys I talked to, he forked out like 12 grand for his armor set. The jousters.
You can have mine. Have my
yeah. So you better try to leave it. He'll donate his.
That is awesome. Now that's a helmet right there.
Another thing I think is really working in the show's favor as well. This is yet another example of a character that presents the reality of the situation, has no idea who Dunk is, but after just a few lines, he's kind of like, you seem like a good guy. Fine, I'll help you out. Which is like an irony of a universe that's so horrible, with so many horrible things happen to good people. All the people in it are kind of willing to help you out if they actually think like, oh, you're like a good person.
The same way the sluts did in episode 1.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and it's going to be very relevant in the future of this
whores, Ryan,
season.
not sluts. They got paid for what they did.
Okay. How dare you call them a slut? You need
specific. Let's be specific here.
Oh, you're right.
Well, wait a minute, Gary. Isn't it that all sluts? No, all whores are sluts, but not all sluts are whores.
Yeah. And I'm the pedantic one.
People gotta get your English correct.
I was technically correct, but I was not specific enough. So
and I'm the pedantic.
How dare you, Ryan, besmirch the world's oldest profession? The thing about what's going to be really sad when Netflix buys Warner Brothers on many levels is HBO. They make some shit too. I know.
Yeah.
They know how to make prestige TV. And like now that you have this crew that's been around Game of Thrones since the Game of Thrones days, and they use a lot of the same costumers, and they're seasoned veterans in this. It shows. It comes across in the screen completely. The craftsmanship in this show is, while not entirely functionally accurate, it looks really fucking cool. It
does.
Especially that armor during the joust. It's freaking cool.
They put more effort onto the armor that the main characters are wearing, and that's a step up. And this is definitely, like I said, they're pointing in the right direction in the improvement and where this is going. This is a lot better than Game of Thrones.
And it's not medieval Europe. It's just European inspired, but we do have to give a little, while it needs to still be functional, it's fine if it doesn't look exact. I'm trying to tell myself, I'm not telling you, by the way.
Yeah, telling myself. It's all good.
On that front, Gary, we'd have to hope that Netflix aren't stupid enough to incorporate their own production into all these IPs, as opposed to just, hey, HBO, you've got a system running, continue it. We're just gonna, eat it. Basically, it's ours now.
You would hope that they.
Well, surely because if they want to get like awards, how many fucking Netflix shows at this point are getting like awards in award season compared to HBO?
Netflix shows are just associated with mid to low quality. So
pretty much ever since.
So they should be like, you guys make this shit, continue making this shit. We just want the money.
Yeah, I don't think Netflix would get in the way of something that's already made, but eventually I think it'll be completely autonomous for a little while. But as we have seen in the past in Hollywood, when a smaller company gets bought up by a bigger company, that autonomy fades.
Yeah.
And we've seen that with, Lucasfilm is basically Disney now. Kathleen Kennedy didn't have final say on a lot of stuff. It was Bob Iger. And same with Marvel. Kevin Feige does not have final say on a lot of stuff, and they got rid of Ike Perlmutter for good or for bad. They got rid of him after Bob Iger in his book admit it's like, oh, I would never get in the way of Ike Perlmutter's vision of Marvel. He fired him. He fucking fired him.
I mean, they pretty much fired everybody who would have had a good creative input now. There's not many left. The fact that they'd worked with Sam Raimi, you wouldn't know it, really.
There's about 3 scenes in that movie where you know it.
But even then, it's just like, Sam Raimi's right there. It's like, are you gonna give him power? Are you gonna give him access to an IP? You're gonna get. He's like, no.
We're gonna hire him as a hired gun, a guy who made arguably one of the top 3 superhero movies ever made.
Well, the reality is, the special recognition should be going to stuff like X-Men and Blade and everything. But Raimi's Spider-Man was, we're talking foundational DNA for Iron Man. And then so on. It built the house they're living in.
Yep. So this is the scene Ryan was talking about earlier, where he's got to sell Sweetfoot. It's really
Sweetfoot,
and it's pretty sad. Really, he's saying goodbye to a family member here.
Yeah,
it's well acted. He gets emotional, and you can feel it. Like this is
I like it when stories have people care about
animals.
their horses. Yeah, like I like it. Red Dead Redemption 2 jumps out. Ghost of Tsushima as well, actually. 2 video games. But yeah, I like seeing our protagonists care about their noble steeds.
And especially from the book, and like the horses are very important. The amount of times that Dunk is thinking about the horses, that he's thinking about Thunder or Chestnut or Sweetfoot and all this stuff, they are very important to him. And to see him have to do this, to have to sell Sweetfoot, to get enough money to get that armor, to try to chase this dream, it is a big decision for him. This is somebody who could have easily sold 2 of those horses and had a lot of money. He talked about he could eat like a king for a couple years. He could have sold those horses and just kind of lived for a couple years pretty good, but he doesn't do it. And it's a big decision. And it was a really sweet and touching scene, genuinely. And I liked it.
And that's Ryan saying that.
Yeah.
Ryan saying that. Mark it down, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll jump up to the joust here, which was just fucking
well,
cool.
They do have that little conversation before the joust where he's talking about how Sir, what is his fucking name? Darren of Duskendale. What's his name, Gary?
The Kingsguard.
Yeah, the Kingsguard. I keep forgetting his actual name, but
anyway. Call him the Crabber.
Yeah, and he's like, we can do anything. He told me he was a lowly son of a crabber, and he's like, his father owns half the crabbing fleet, like on the East Coast or whatever, in Westeros. And he's like,
and then
what?
How do you know that? I like to fish.
I find it amusing. It's the Westeros equivalent of that Victoria Beckham thing of like, oh yeah, we're working class, and then getting pushed to admit that her dad drove a Rolls Royce
to pick her up from school.
Yeah, a Rolls Royce of all
so Donald of Duskendale. Donald, God, that was
Donald. Yes, and like. One, it's funny because Dunk is so shocked that he's like, I just had this perspective that I could do anything, and now I fucking like, what the fuck? That's his dad. And then it's also Egg knows a lot of things.
Yes,
like if you're paying attention, you might be starting to wonder, well, why does Egg know these things?
It's a really well-educated orphan. So we get to the joust again, and like, goddamn, the set, everything about this looks fucking cool.
It's a cool sequence. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's
fun.
And
of course, it's we're doing a bit with character for both of them. Like it's clear what both of them are thinking about as they're watching this. Egg is very excited about it.
Egg is getting into it,
and meanwhile,
and so is the audience.
Yeah. It's kind of a hyping. It's meant to hype you up for the next episode.
This was the big sport of the day.
Holy shield, this is fantasy,
armor,
dude.
This was like, like going to the big sports game, professional wrestling, and so I love that they showed the audience
Looks
so
a bit like this.
involved. Yeah, look at that one. That was
This
a
one.
nice one.
I surrounded myself for this.
And yeah, the armor that these knights are wearing, it's pretty good. Like you saw the pauldron in the previous shot that you showed there. Like
Still the
this is
freaking
looking
gorget.
Look at
That's
this.
the
Look at
gorget,
Ballard
yeah.
Targaryen. This is our first introduction to him. And it's I take it he's the favorite. I'd take that bet, sir.
And Dunk even asks Egg, who is that knight?
Was there a
which I find
Bracken
interesting.
in there? Did I see a Bracken shield?
So I know that Brackens and Blackwoods are both at this tournament.
Yeah,
I don't know if I caught this. So I saw a high tower.
I did see a high
saw
tower.
Tully.
Yeah.
Obviously, you see the Targaryens. There was a couple that I was trying to pick out as it was going by. I can't wait to rewatch
The
the
colors weren't right though, but it looked like the right sigil. Look at that. See, I know the eyes. You can't see that much of the eyes, but the armor looks fucking cool. Just does.
Mhm.
Even the horses.
There's
Look
not
at the
big eye.
fucking armor on that damn horse. He looks like a dragon.
Yep.
No, it looks really good in terms of aesthetics. The only things that I would complain about is that he has a hole here, and
right.
Yeah,
Right.
you can kind of.
and it's dangerous. And in combination with the reason why I was complaining about the gorget being that it should be put underneath the breastplate is because any blade that hits the breastplate goes naturally will go under the gorget and into your throat. But if the gorget is under the breastplate, then it actually provides protection. But then again, these people are not actual medieval knights. They, as I often say, they're from a fantasy thing. Maybe they are okay with the risk. One thing I noticed that when it comes to this scene is while it's clearly based on medieval European joust, it's more barbaric. Did you notice that? Like the people he eats the meat and throws it at the public.
Yeah.
Mhm. I mean, it really depends on which period of the joust you're looking at, because the earliest
Yeah.
tournaments were crazy.
Well,
it, was
sure,
just it was just a brutal melee
It's the
where there's
battle.
like
melee.
exactly. Let's corner off this entire town, send all the knights in to beat the hell out of each other, and
Yeah.
last man standing gets to win the tourney.
Yeah. Well,
So-
this is more like with the tilt.
Exactly. You're right. This is based on a more formalized tilt joust. And just on the note on the gorget, right? One of the things because there is a practical element to consider, and Metatron and I like bringing this stuff up just for educational purposes.
Yeah. It's not a complaint.
Because with it sitting over top, it was too wide, leaving that opening. Where if it was sitting underneath, it would hug the neck a bit closer, and the helmet then would sit over that rim of the gorget underneath, which would then kind of give a more, coverage.
Complete.
Close.
Yeah.
Now Dunk is going to get a big gorget, and so I wonder what how they'll design that. Because he gets one in the course of the story.
Cool.
Remember?
We have the lords there.
Yeah, and even right before it's like it's like complete silence. One of the dudes in the crowd's like, Lord Ashford fucks his sheep.
Yep.
Kind over to him, but he uncomfortably moves in his chair, just like. Fuck's sake.
I find the show rather funny. I really do.
It is funny.
I'm glad that they've added a humorous element, and with Dunk especially, like with his it's got a good lighthearted part to it. Hey, I see Mike in the chat, Mike S. Miller. He's
Hey,
mentioning that.
Mike.
What's up,
Good
Mike?
to see you, man. I hope you're feeling better, Mike. And he also mentioned that he designed
Mike.
like a lot. So many of what we're
Okay.
seeing here is coming from Mike's designs in the graphic novel.
I
And it's
will
absolutely-
show you something that you might recognize that I was just taking a look at, Mike.
Hey.
There it is, right there. You might recognize this from the show.
Oh, do you have that page? That like,
Wow.
No, that's available right now for sale on Mike's.
oh,
website.
is it?
Oh, that's
You know,
I was sizing it up.
Oh.
So
And genuinely, everyone, if you do purchase it, it'll help Mike out. He's in a tough spot at the moment. And on this page specifically, I was talking to Mike on the lead up to the release of this. We have a whole stream on Night's Watch talking about so much of his design philosophy and stuff that this show is based on. Mike mentioned in that stream that this page was George's favorite page.
Really?
He loved that so much because that's, of course, the scene of Egg on the horse, sneaking into wear Dunk's armor and stuff because Egg is like, he wants to be a knight and he has those dreams of it. And yeah, George loved this page. And You saying it's
They
available?
that's pretty much straight out of the show. They drew
Yeah.
this straight from the page. So well done, Mike. Hope you're
Yes.
doing better, buddy.
All the best of luck.
Yeah. Mike confirms that's George's favorite page. That one right there. Man, Mike did a really good job on that graphic novel, guys. Like,
Yeah, he did.
yeah.
So we got the little jousting. Dunk is shitting his pants watching all this go down.
I loved it. They showed the brutality that these knights were going to, but also that these knights are really well trained. And
Oh, yeah.
Dunk is just thinking like, holy crap, what am I getting
Yeah.
myself into?
For this show in the beginning, they're taking a ton of people that are really experienced. Lionel was in there actually. I don't think he got too much screen time, but you did see the Baratheon sigil and the helmet with the stag horns and everything. So like these are like the best of the best, the top of the top. And as Dunk's watching them, realizing he's never done anything like this before, other than trained with an old ass knight who all of that has been shifted in his perspective over the past 2 days as well. The past 48 hours, he's realized that this person that he did look up to is like nobody else gives a fuck about him. So all of that is kind of hitting him in this moment, and he's realizing the task ahead of him. And there's also something that goes on with Egg as well. He's on Dunk's shoulders, and nothing crazy has really happened. You know, you didn't have a horse go down. You didn't have anything nuts like that. It was just kind of one pass, and you had some lances broken. And Egg like looks at his hands real quick and is like, "Can you let me down for a second?" And
You know what I thought was going on there?
go ahead.
I thought he was watching the squires hand the lances to the knights, and because there's a
Yeah.
scene where it shows that the squires really have to book it to get those knights ready
like a
for the
pit crew.
next tilt. And I was wondering if Egg was actually starting to doubt his own ability to do that for Dunk, and that's why I was looking at his hands. That is like, oh crap, can I even do that?
Yeah, and that actually made me think of something. In theory, he should be a page, not a squire.
Because of his age,
Age-wise.
saying,
Yeah. 7 to 14 is page, 14 to 21 is squire, 21 knight. So maybe in this world they are more like open when it comes. They're not that strict like they would have been in the real Middle Ages. So regardless of the fact that he's very young, they let him actually be a squire because he is called a squire, which did surprise me a little bit due to the age. Precisely for that.
In this world, from everything I remember, yeah, squires are usually much younger than like
in the reality.
Like for us to believe that Dunk is still a squire is like unbelievable for this world. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, sure.
That would be a criticism. Now, Dunk in the book is like 17 or 18, but he's not really sure. Whereas this, obviously, Peter Claffey is significantly older than that. I think he's supposed to be playing him, probably younger 20s or something. But yeah.
So I wonder if they're going to be splitting something, because the opening joust in the graphic novel has some really good moments, and I wonder if they're going to push that now to a later scene where it shows Dunk watching the jousters and he's commenting on them and their technique, and he is perceptive on certain things. And then there is a moment where I forget the name of the Targaryen prince.
Valar.
Yeah, he kills something.
Oh, you're talking about something else. Yeah, okay.
Yes, okay, because I won't say it then, but that happened in the opening joust, and so I was waiting for that, but it didn't happen. So I hope they have it though, because that's important, I reckon. And so maybe in the next episode we'll get that. So there should be more. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm back. Had to take care of something. So after shedding himself at the joust. We have a little I like this little scene where Egg is just talking about the black fires.
Talking about the black fires. Yeah.
Like, we get to mention that, you black fire scum. And he's all, what's the matter? And he's like, I'm fucked. Basically screwed. I have no chance in this. But basically my father, Sir Arlen of Pennytree with the long cock, went through his whole life without winning a single championship. Nobody remembers him, and I am basically his legacy, and I'm not going to let him down. And what was that last line? I got to take it down. What was the last line, Ryan? Because it is kind of important. Hang on. I'll figure out what it is.
I don't.
It is really important what he says.
I don't
The
remember.
word
actually.
wrath is in there, right?
What was that?
The word wrath comes up if I remember.
I don't know. I watched it fast at the very end because I didn't want to be too late.
No, I don't recall what the last line is. I can't wait to rewatch this episode, to be honest with you.
I actually want to go back and watch both episodes.
On the morrow, we will show them what this hand has wrought.
Oh, rot. That's it. Yeah.
There you go.
Mm.
The hand of Duncan, Sir Duncan the Tall.
For Duncan the Tall.
Good
And
line.
it is a good line. And next episode, you may see that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
may see that. So,
Yeah.
really
Well, I
good
like that
episodes. Like,
And it's so heavily focused that line on the notion of like how he's going to perform in the tournament, when like the show is about how is he going to perform as a hedge knight, right? Ultimately, is he going to come through on his sort of the principles, the values and stuff. So it's kind of interesting to see how that line is going to be applied in a different circumstance.
I just saw your comment, Gary. It's just like
yeah,
no one else is getting it.
I was shopping. There you go. So, high marks from like I said, like highest grade for this episode. Cannot recommend this. I was like, first episode was pretty neat. You of course this is HBO and it's streaming and you want to be cautious, but I really liked it. But I'm not sure if people who haven't read the books are going to like it. But now I can confidently say, watch this fucking show. And yes, it's going to be half-hour episodes weekly. And yes, that will probably be frustrating. And I will even break from my normal philosophy and say, yes, this would probably be better watch stream. And I will, when it's done, I will watch this whole fucking thing through.
Like, because what? This would almost be a 3-hour movie in completion, wouldn't it? Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Done.
You could tighten it up a bit more if you needed to, but it would work for sure.
I haven't had anything so far that it's like, yeah, cut that.
Yeah, no, same.
Like, I mean, okay, maybe 10 seconds of Lionel dancing here and like
the giant cock in your
cock.
face.
I
I
knew you
think
were
you
gonna
could
say
probably
5 seconds of the giant cock, but it's like it's not saving you too much time.
Well, I mean, come on. I don't know about that. You gotta.
Fringy's right. We got to keep the cog shut.
Really
I want to hear your argument. Fringy, give me the argument of why we need to keep
establishing his character. All right, he's a wacky guy, and you really understand the wackiness of him when he walks out that house.
Yeah, that's why they didn't have any money. That's why they were so poor all the time, because all the whores they encountered, they charged Sir Arlen double because they weren't going to be able to walk or work the next day.
Yeah,
it was
that cost him some hours.
I think there's a narrative reason. This is why he never won a joust. He was already trying to handle one lance and trying to
imagine sitting a horse with that thing.
I know you would not be able to sit comfortably at all.
I mean, his daily life would be pretty tough. Like,
Matt, fitting him for armor, and like he's just got like a big fucking hole down one side of his greaves or whatever. Like for
No, it's gonna need 3 legs, like three full plate legs.
I mean, if we're trying to be like the best defense of it beyond a comedic point, probably would be it's like showing all these flashbacks have been trying to show who he is, and like he's just wandering out naked, and after it's like that's who he is.
Well, like. It's obviously for comedic value. It is to shock you and try to make you laugh at this massive hog. Like, that's what it is.
And it worked. I laughed.
Well, I'm justifying like the time code rather than the caucus.
I wonder if every episode will have that though, because the first one had Duncan taking a big old shit. So I wonder if every
beginning is gonna be
I don't know funny motif of this show.
Maybe we'll get some tits.
That's what I was gonna say. Next episode, that's what we're gonna see.
They did have some Gary like a split second in first episode. Yeah.
Like, the most unrealistic thing for me, if that guy really had like a sleeve that big, no way would he not be bragging about it. Would that not be his sigil or something like that? Like a massive cod for his sigil, and he would be called Sir Pennytree the Long. It's like there's no way. There's no way.
Maybe everyone's dick is that size in Westeros. Like,
yeah, it's a fantasy world.
Maybe it's small. How about it's the other way around?
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the people, shall we?
Yeah.
Shall we? Thanks for being here,
Power
everybody.
to the people.
Over 4,000 of you watching us talking about a half an hour television show. It's basically a Ren fair.
And a
if there's
half
anything to
meter
go
long
by,
call.
Yep. what was that?
Goliath has seen the season and he's in high appraisal of it. So, and he was as hot
really?
as we
Okay.
were on like the latest seasons of Game of Thrones. So, I think he even said like it's one of the fondest seasons of the whole set, right? Of everything that's come out. So,
Wow.
Yeah, him and Ultra
High praise.
do well, they do Dunk Time, but they also do their own individual reviews. And I do think both of them got early access and have watched all episodes, and I think they both recommend it pretty highly.
and fundamentally, like
Good recommendation.
it would suck if this is really great and then eventually it goes to shit because of George or whatever the fuck. But at the same time, it's like I won't regret having seen this season if it's as strong as the first two episodes.
What's really weird is seeing Ryan Condell's name as executive producer on this, and Ira Parker, is that his name?
I think so.
Ira
Yeah,
Parker, yeah.
Yeah, the showrunner worked with him on House of the Dragon season 1, and now George is out there going, "This is my new favorite friend."
Book 4, though, I wonder how friendly they'll be when they get there.
Yeah. Again, the big difference here is if they just did 3, and I don't think actually it's hard to get now that it's hard to get 6 half-hour episodes out of this book. So I mean, they have added here and there.
Yeah.
But I think they've hit the sweet spot with that. So good choice. And even if it ends at 3, you will have a very satisfying ending with that 3rd series. I freaking love that book. I love that's kind of my favorite novella. I know everybody likes the Hedge Knight, but the Mystery Knight is cool because it's got one of my favorite characters in it in all of A Song of Ice and Fire. Hodor. That's it. All right. Doug Cheese for $4.99 said, watch Return of the King in theaters for the first time today in a packed house. Oh, sweet. That's amazing. Holy fucking Pelennor Fields. Can only imagine what that was like opening weekend. It was awesome. My jaw was on the floor. The theater was silent until the battle was over.
The craziest thing about Return of the King is you go to, because obviously I was hyped as fuck going to see that in the cinema, and the expectations were titanic, and it kind of did better. It's just like, what? How?
Exactly. I told you, I remember walking into Fellowship, watching the trailers, going, okay, that looks pretty cool, but if it's just halfway decent, I'll be happy. And I didn't expect to be walking out of that movie going, I just watched a classic that will be remembered forever.
I remember talking about the movie for hours after watching Fellowship of the Ring, talking about what level Aragon would be in D&D mechanics and stuff like that. No joke. Like, yeah, it was a moment. And
you don't get those moments often. You walk out of like Raiders of the Lost Ark, or I'm aging myself, but you walk out of Raiders or Empire, or even like Spider-Man 2 or The Dark Knight. You just go, holy shit. I just saw like a fucking S-tier movie. Of course we didn't have that term back then, but and you get it once a decade, maybe, particularly in genre, right? The stuff I like.
And I think Aragon, level 15 Ranger in Fellowship of the Ring. Just my opinion.
Okay. Fucking nerd.
I was just fascinated by the Balrog as a kid. I thought it was the most awesome thing I've ever seen.
I bet that was cool.
It was the combination. I build up Gandalf as like the most awesome, caring, wise, heroic leader of the group, who's also your like kindly grandpa, but the wise, helpful, cool uncle, super fun, all the shit in the Shire. Then you get to the Mines of Moria, and he's fighting with them all, and you're like, God, is this anything this guy can't do? This enormous demon made of fire. Like,
yep.
And then he fights it, and then it's just it was perfect.
How old were you when it came out, roughly?
So Fellowship was 2001.
Yep.
Right. So I would have been 8. And I would have watched it with my dad, and we probably would have been like, that was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. My dad had read the books as well, so he obviously wanted to see it.
Never read the book, says Mr. Big Morg, 3,000 for $9.99. Never read the books. However, I had a smile on my face the entire episode, even during the more dramatic scenes. Been a while since a show did that, and boy, have I missed it. Hail the Fellowship. Hail. It's nice to have something to talk
I
about that's
know.
good. So
Oh,
fucking great. Especially
Gary.
after watching Starfleet Academy.
Oh my gosh! No, you know what I watched after Academy? I finished Landman.
Dude,
Landman.
how good was that?
Hey man, you know, if we got that, this maybe House of the Dragon season 3 is okay.
Let's
Who knows,
hope.
you know,
Let's
but,
hope.
Gentlemen, season
but
2
also Gentlemen and Mobland.
and
Like,
Mobland.
could be looking up for the year on TV shows.
could
maybe.
be looking up. And One Piece.
Let's hope. We'll see.
Let's hope.
Let's hope.
I don't have as high hopes.
Oh, and don't forget Wonder Man.
I
Oh,
forgot.
yeah.
I wonder why they made this show, man.
Yeah.
Apparently it's good, but the reason it's good is it's a show for people who don't like superheroes.
Mhm.
It's a show that yeah.
We'll see.
Chris Gore liked it. I like Baylor. The actor reminded me of Christopher Heyerdahl. For Poke God for $2.
Bertie Cavill, I think that's his name. He's going to be Cornelius Fudge in the Harry Potter series.
Really?
Yeah, it's fun. We had this exact same fucking conversation last week, Gary.
I
When
thought
I
you were
said,
talking-
when I said that, and you went like this.
No, I thought
Really?
you were talking about the audio series when we were talking about that. So you're talking about the show, the TV
Talking about the
show.
show. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's weird. That is weird.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought that was a weird question when I'm like, what's wrong with the voice of Cornelius Fudge in the audio series? So now I know.
That was a slightly different conversation. I was complaining slightly about the voice of Cornelius
Yes.
Fudge in the audiobooks. But yeah,
I'm an old man, Ryan.
I know.
Fall asleep randomly and have to take 25-minute pees.
I fall asleep as well a lot, but I don't have to pee 25 minutes.
It'll hit you.
That's how long it takes Sir Arlen just for it to get out of his.
Yeah, that's totally different.
The second Ryan has to take 25-minute pees, he's killed himself. I already know this. He's told me.
Vermithor 92 for $15. Those Kingsguard looked real clean. Happy to see them in their proper armor. They know how to make a simple scene of selling a horse have some real gravity. Also, what a hog Sir Arlen had. Hail, boys. Yeah, it's going to be the talk of the show, unfortunately. Everybody will be talking about his freaking giant dick, but not.
Everyone's talking about the shit in episode 1.
Was it thrown in to capture the female audience? I wonder.
That
What the shit?
shit in the dick.
Kinky.
I mean, have you seen Romanticy? A large portion of them are into it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that most women would be scared if they saw that. Like, frightened to death.
The basilisk.
Yeah, you're not letting that thing in your chamber of secrets, you know?
And we know he's not Jewish. So there you go. Brian Townsend for 20 says Sir Arlen of Pennytree. Nay, Sir Arlen of Longtree. With a lance like that, how is he not famous throughout the Seven Kingdoms? Also, Lionel Baratheon is an absolute win. Favorite character so far. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much. Appreciate the 20.
Unless
somebody
everyone
said,
is that
don't-
size, that's a plot hole. He would be famous for that.
Well, I'm sure it's made a lot of plot holes.
Yeah. Somebody I saw somebody comment at one point in the stream, like, it looks like Dunk did bury Sir Arlen with his sword after all.
None of the lords remember Sir Arlen, but their ladies do. Yep. Little boy blue, thank you for the $5. Breathes such a sigh of relief after beating Baylor Breakspear. He nailed that introduction, even if the actor is a decade older than he ought to be. Yeah, he still captures, like Ryan said, he captures the spirit completely.
I mean, I
Default for $5.
Baylor may be one of like my favorite Song of Ice and Fire characters, period.
Yep.
And I loved the portrayal. I thought it was great.
Good, but way too short. wait a week for 30 minutes. LOL, Mad Dog. Yeah, that's the thing.
That
But
was
you
my
always
only
want to leave
criticism.
them wanting more. So I
Did
think it
that.
accomplished it.
It did that.
But
Do
this
you
thing will
think,
get
so,
big.
Gary, on the front of it, like if it dropped all at once, do you think that would be good for its word of mouth?
It is better like this for
It is
word
better
of
like
mouth.
this. 100%.
It's
It is
building
better for the
interest because of
streamer
this.
for it to be like this, for people to be talking about it for 6 weeks. But for the consumption is probably better for
Yeah.
binge. But
Yeah, it's kind of like
ultimately,
we gotta wait for 5 and 6 to be like, okay, everyone go watch it all now.
It's so funny because like ever since the invention of fucking television, we've had to wait a week between episodes for every single thing in fucking existence until about 10 years ago.
Yep.
Right. And now it's all changed and we all have different viewing habits and everything's just so
Dude.
readily available.
Well, dude, try to be a fucking Smiling Things friends. You have to wait a fan
The
in
Smiling
1 week
Things
for 10.
friend. But
Is,
yes, I agree. Where you have to wait a week for a 10-minute episode, you only get 8 a year, and then you got to wait another year.
Now
Yeah.
everybody consumes like procedural TV or sitcoms like all at once. But back in our day, we used to wait a week to watch a 22-minute episode of like a sitcom of
That's right.
Seinfeld.
Gary, you're
That-
not listening. I just said there's a show coming out now that is 10 minutes long. We have to wait a week.
I
or
am
two.
listening.
You get 8.
Deal
a
with
year,
it, youngster.
And then we have it worse than you on our favorite show.
in my
Right, yeah.
It's torturous after like several years between seasons sometimes, and then it's like an hour and a half in total.
You're talking to a Venture Brothers fan. Don't talk to me about torture.
How long
and
are Venture
years
Brothers
between-
episodes?
They're half an hour, but it took 20 years for 7 seasons to come out.
Gary, do you remember when you had to pick what thing you wanted to watch at like 8 p.m. on the telly on the old black and white?
Dude, I
Yeah.
was the remote control in the house. My dad would go, "Boy, change the channel," and that's what I did. We didn't have remote controls, and it would like click. It would go click, click, and then I had the fucking antenna. We had a little dial. If we started losing reception, he's all, "Boy, hit the antenna." So I'd hit and then we'd have to wait like 30 seconds for it to go. Zzz, and we sat there watching fucking Fuzz. It's amazing.
Good show.
Yeah. Everybody has so much, so everybody romanticizes the 80s and the 70s. You would have fucking hated it. Okay. You would absolutely hate it, but you would have bored to tears.
I actually saw that as a post about Stranger Things. They never have any of the characters talk about media that's not beloved now in the universe. It would have been kind of cool for some of them to be fans of shit that like was bad, like in
Like
retrospect.
Coke?
Just anything, even stuff that people hadn't heard of. It would have been cool to give it a spotlight, you know.
I did like the new, was it season 3 where they go to the gas station and Lucas is like drinking new Coke and they just start bitching at him. He's like, "What do you mean? What's not to like about it?" Yeah.
New
I
Coke.
thought it was a little too on the nose, that shit myself. But
Who here has had New Coke?
I'm not alive that long.
What about that Pepsi Clear? What was it called again?
I have had Pepsi Crystal.
Pepsi
Crystal. Yeah.
Oh, I need a drink.
All I know about that
Yeah.
was there was a
Go
video
ahead.
of a guy who drank
Go
like
ahead.
a 20-year-old bottle and vomited it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do
that.
The Crystal. But yeah, no, I've never had New Coke, and I'm kind
New
of
Coke
curious.
was shit. It was shit. It was
Was
too
it
sweet.
shit?
Yeah.
Was
it was
it?
shit. Yeah. It was bad.
Wasn't
it like?
though?
But what was it like? Was it like New Slim where they did it on purpose? That's what I
They
figured.
definitely didn't do it on purpose, but they got the benefit of it, which is that it made like Pepsi was going to become more popular than Coke, and because of that, Coke like stayed on top. When it came back, people bought it a lot, as I understand it. This is what I mean. I'm aware of the story, but I've never had it.
People fucking hated New Coke. It was a big
They
fucking
did.
deal,
They
apparently.
did. Yeah.
They never should
Gary's
change
probably
it
in
from.
jail. I don't know if he got Coke in jail. Not that
Yeah.
kind.
So we got, well, no, you could actually get that kind of Coke in jail and prison and sodas. We got sodas.
Okay.
Yeah. We had stores.
Did you get
Money's up.
San Pellegrino?
No Pellegrino, but I love Pellegrino. Absolutely love it.
San Pellegrino.
Pellegrino. Oh wait, I forgot this. Good, but way too short. Wait a week for 30 minutes. Oh, I read that one. LOL. That's right. Because Mahler likes Wumbo names, I want him to know the narrator for the Harry Potter audiobooks named Cash Cush Jumbo.
Kush Jumbo is
Kush
the name.
Jumbo.
You know, that reminds me. Harry Lloyd is excellent reading out the
Really good.
Hedge Knight. He just takes the role so fucking seriously as a audiobook reader. He's good shit.
Do you know he played Professor X?
In what?
Legion.
Oh, I mean, Harry Lloyd's just great in everything he's in. It's
He's
kind
a
of
really
funny.
fucking good actor. Yeah.
Metatron's killing us with the mic.
But obviously, like coming across him in Doctor Who, and then I remember watching the first few episodes of Game of Thrones and being like, "Really, that the guy from Family of Blood is going to be Viserys?" Okay, yeah, and then nails it.
Does
And
he play
then-
Rhaegar in the flashback?
I don't
don't-
know.
I'd have to check that. I don't remember that.
I don't
When they
remember
show the
that.
marriage.
Yeah. I don't. That's a good question. He also was in a show called Counterpart, which was killed too soon. That was fucking awesome.
He was also in a film called Anthropoid, and he was awesome in that. And no one's seen it, sadly.
I have not even heard of it.
Oscar.
We got the end jousting scene was also amazing. I hope the actual tournament is just as dynamic. I think it will be. Brian Townsend for $5. They put a lot of work. And I'm watching all the behind the scenes shit for this. God damn it. This is what I missed, Ryan. Like, I'm watching a show and then I watch behind the scenes, and the interview isn't a writer being fucking retarded and telling me that like half the show's about like misogyny and some bullshit. It's just nice.
Yeah. In the first behind the scenes for the first episode, they talked about like the shitting scene and how they were like trying to like they were like trying to show you that this is like his nerves immediately act up, but also like trying to set the tone for what a different show it's going to be. And Ira Parker's like, I hope you forgive us or something.
Yeah.
He clearly knew the shit thing was going to be controversial.
But it got
He didn't
people
apologize
talking.
for the dick though, Shad.
No, I'm thinking more people have a problem with that giant schlong in your face than the crap scene. But anyway.
Don't protest too much, Shad.
Yeah. You're feeling a little
Like, I'm worried I'm
inadequate.
gonna
Shad.
like
I sure hate that. I would hate to see it ever again. I hope they never do it again.
A giant penis. Brian Townsend, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Rogue Disciple for $10 says, reminds me of Braveheart. Some spears are taller than others. Oh, your mom's been telling stories about me again, huh? Yeah. Your mom. I had just taken my first bite of a hot dog. Gross. Trevor Coyle for $1.99.
Oh well.
Whose fault is that? Who decided to eat a hot dog beginning the episode? That would be
Yeah.
you, Trevor. Okay. Don't blame the show. So far, I'm loving Sir Duncan and Egg. I'm amused.
Yep,
Griffin.
I'm hooked.
It's like I said, the show's nice, but
It might not stay as nice. It might get a little less
this is
nice.
a song. This is within a Song of Ice and Fire. So
Oh yes.
just keep that in mind. But what we've been telling you over and over again, Sir Duncan the Tall is a very different character from what George usually writes. And I think even he wanted to take, I doubt he'd admit this, but I think he wanted to take a break from his nihilism a little bit to write this little side story. And it shows you like when he's focused, what he's capable of. He's one of the greatest writers to ever live. Unfortunately, he's one of the most disappointing as well.
He's also his worst enemy.
He's his own worst enemy, and he's ungrateful. He's an ungrateful. That's the part that's frustrating the most. He bitches about everything. He's a victim. Everything is everybody else's fault. He never even considers that maybe he should have said no to some people and had some fucking boundaries. And then he wants to start fights with other people. And then he bitches about, oh, this hugely popular book I have. Everybody's demanding that I finish it. And there's fucking writers out there going, fuck you, dude. Kiss my ass. People would die to be in his position. He's like, oh, it's just too much. It's like, fuck.
I think the simplicity of it, because this is a story that George was forced to write. This is a story that it was in a big collection of like 10 different fantasy writers that were doing short stories for this collection. And George said that he would do it. And shocker, he was kind of fucking late. and he needed to write something. He'd always wanted to write, like he'd always loved tournaments and stuff like that, the idea of medieval tournaments. And so he
Ivanhoe.
decided to base it around that.
Mhm.
And because it was a short story, so it could not be overly complex and windy or whatever, he was limited to, 120, 140, 150 pages, whatever it was. And
But that's what he wrote. That's how he
Yeah.
cut his teeth writing short stories. So, and I think Ryan, I think he overthinks shit way too much. Like way too much. And I think some of the stuff that he wrote was probably fine. And he saw one thing wrong with it, but I think it's mostly he just doesn't want to finish. That was I think the most telling thing about that, I think it was Hollywood Reporter article, Ryan.
yes, Hollywood Reporter.
At the end where they asked him about Frank Herbert and Dune, and do you feel the same way? And he's like, yeah, kinda. I don't want to write it anymore. And that's as close as the truth we'll ever get. Book accurate Kingsguard armor. Finally, different houses having amazing colors. In Game of Thrones, everyone just had black leather on. Yeah, Jamie was wearing like a fucking leather jacket towards the end. It's like, come on.
No, because the medieval period had so much drip, like into crazy.
What did you just say?
The medieval people had drip. Barry.
I just started busting out laughing just the way Chad just dropped it. He's like, the Riz on these people.
They had Riz.
No
They had
cap.
drip. Absolutely. Check them out. You should see it with their cod pieces and pointed shoes and their dagging on all their clothing. It's like, if you want fashion and something to stand out and make your thing look distinctive, just look at history. But all these shows just make this bullcrap leather armor, biker crap. Anyway,
agreed. But Ryan, you're the one who sees me the most. If I ever start like using words like drip or Riz in my regular vernacular, punch me in the face as hard as you can. You have my permission.
Will do.
It conveyed what
Chad's significantly younger than you, though, Gary.
Yeah.
He's still trying to stave off that midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Good luck with that, buddy.
How do you go? How are you, fellow kids? That's me.
The chat saying he just said it. Sir Arlen Uncut. What's up, Channel Surf? Channel Surf is the GOAT. He's great. And that is a proper hat and monocle, sir. And he wears
He was staring at his 80-inch big screen TV, looking at that dick through that monocle shit.
Runtime was cut to make room for that hammer. It says Brother Ruddock. Thank you for being a member for 21 months. Ryan bullied Mahler into reading a book. He kind of did.
When? I kind of just wanted to, after realizing it was only like it was 2.5, 3 hours or whatever. I was like, I can knock that out, and then I'll be able to, talk about how it compares and stuff.
I think I did say that to you though. It's like really short. It's only like 3 hours. Like you can get through it quick. Yeah.
To be clear, I read the first 3 or 4 books for Song of Ice and Fire as well. So I was already I already knew I would like it because I like his writing.
Oh, wait. I wanted to put that. Dig the show, but they got Valar's hair wrong.
So
0 out of 10.
Maybe. We didn't get a very good look at him, but he should have dark hair with a white streak.
With a white streak, yes.
There should be a white streak, and maybe once we see him in better light, because it was very dark. I don't think all the battle sequences will be dark in this. But yes. So we'll see. That the fact that they allowed Baelor to have dark hair, and obviously the actor's graying a little bit, but I love that they didn't feel the need to give him fucking white hair like all the other Targaryens we've seen in, say, House of the Dragon that should have dark hair but have white hair instead. Yeah, I like the fact. Now, it should be maybe a little longer and stuff, clean shaven, but overall, nailed it.
I have a question.
What are you saying, Metatron?
Oh, we can't hear you.
Yeah, you're muted. It's probably when you drop the mic.
Okay, so jousting at night, is that a thing that happened?
La 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 la.
There we go.
Apologies.
So did they joust at night?
Only in preparation, there will be an evening joust for them to warm up. But generally speaking, jousts would be during the day.
Yeah, you want to see the target clearly. These things.
One thing that I was saying is I was agreeing with the long hair. I was saying, yes, longer hair.
I wonder why.
Arian should have long hair as well. He has short hair, but yeah, they ran out of wigs. Damon took all of them, I think. For
We need some representation here. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Hello, all. It was mentioned the show is just fun to watch and gives a bit of escapism. If the show continues in this direction, do you think that anybody will learn a lesson? I would hope so, but they never do. Extra duty for $5. You're talking about Hollywood, and
I think unfortunately a lot of the time they don't really understand what makes something work. A lot of the time wrong lessons are learned. So it would be something superficial and they're like, that's what people like, so let's go in that direction. Like there seems to be a big problem not even really recognizing like what storytelling is meant to be. So, don't get your hopes up, but I guess enjoy this while it lasts.
Yeah.
Do you remember all those like Game of Thrones ripoff shows that came out shortly after trying to copy it? Wasn't Camelot one? Or there was a King Arthur version, which is like there's supposed to be this edgy Game of Thrones thing with heaps of sex, and there was a lot of copycats, and they couldn't capture it because they didn't know what made it good.
Continuing from Extra Duty for $5 with all the crap this week and being stuck in the house with bad weather, this was an awesome escape. Hell yes, it was. And hope everybody's doing okay out there from the ice storm.
Well, we got the opposite here. It's really hot. It is really hot today.
Yeah, it was fucking in the 80s when I went out to get groceries today here in Florida. The sun was just driving me crazy. It was just beating down on me. Relentless sunshine drove me fucking crazy. I don't know what you people are going through with the ice storm, but it was awful here for me.
Friggy and I in Australia, we're getting like 40-degree days plus and stuff.
Yeah, so
sounds cold.
In your US,
and the spiders, and the spiders,
and the spiders, and the sharks.
I'll put it in US measurement.
102 degrees Fahrenheit. Did you say, Friggy?
Well, if it's 45 degrees Celsius, about what it is today. So that's about 100. Yeah, it's about
105.
100 and what?
Yeah, 110 thereabouts.
That's a Texas summer, baby.
Yeah, that's really hot.
It is really fucking hot.
That's like
make it not
Sicilian
hot.
weather.
It's really hot.
Yeah, Sicilian weather.
Yeah, it's 25 degrees here. We're actually cold this week.
It's really cold here as well. It's frozen outside. Blocks of ice.
Yeah, you live in the North Pole, so
yeah. With penguins. Is it penguins with the North Pole or is it South Pole?
South Pole.
South Pole is penguins. That's what. Well, prove me wrong then.
Yeah, we found out when Donald Trump posted a fucking a meme, or the White House posted a meme of Trump walking with a penguin in Greenland, and they all melted the fuck down.
There are no penguins.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, Trump's not actually walking in the snow in Greenland either. It's like
what?
They were freaking out.
Does anyone know if they're going to do Sworn Sword and Mystery Night as well? If this show does good, yes, they are.
Sworn Sword's already in production. Mystery Night is. I don't know if the third season's been greenlit, but it will be.
The thing that's crazy is this show is still going to take 2 years to come out, which I think is a bit much for this show. I mean, it was actually supposed to come out last year. Remember, guys?
This might be the best thing to happen to the show for it to take 2 years apart. Do you know why? Because then they can only do 3 seasons and Egg will age out.
You don't want them to do any more?
Yeah, probably.
I don't want them to do any more that aren't finished.
Well, the plan for HBO was to have House of the Dragon come out 1 year and then A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We're getting 2 shows this year, but then it goes to 1. So we are getting A Night of the Seven Kingdoms next year. So we are getting in a year. It's House of the Dragon that's going to take, and that's the final season. Now, a lot of people were saying, oh, the show was canceled because it was only planned to be 4 seasons, like from the get-go. Yeah. The only thing that changed was the amount of episodes. JD, thank you for being a member for 53 months. Holy crap, you're a glutton for punishment. Thanks. Could a hedge knight afford the armor the other knights have? It depends on probably not like a normal hedge knight. It depends on who they robbed or what lord they worked for.
Is you referring to the other knights of the tournament that are much more well equipped? Well, they kind of show
They
that
look
not
like high
really.
nobility. Yeah.
Yeah, and they already said that the steward said that they were like fending off hedge knights and lower tier knights anyway. So Dunk kind of snuck in because the hand of the king said it was okay. Not bad.
Well played.
Dunk really buried Arlen's sword.
Bro, I love this account. Roundera the Cruel. I love this account. So Rhaenyra in the books gets fat as fuck after having all the kids and shit. The what was it? The Jewel of the Realm or
the Realm's Delight.
Realm's Delight. That's right. And then she becomes this fat fucking hag. So yeah, I love this account.
Really loving this show so far. I know it's different teams, but I still have faith that House of the Dragon will end well. It'll be interesting. Ryan and I have talked about this, and I have no clue how or where they're going to end it. It's got an ending, but it just kind of goes on and on.
I have an idea of what I think it will be, but it doesn't have to be there. Like, yeah, we'll see.
Oh, our brothers at Our Hilts Hurt for $2 says White Boy Kingsguard Summer. Hell yeah.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
They look good.
They do. Go sub to their channel. It's great.
Yes.
You guys took a look at the new Knight's Path game. Also, I recommend a manga called Old Country Bumpkin Becomes a Sword Saint.
I've done videos literally on that anime and Knight's Path. I got 2 videos on Knight's Path.
Yes, you do.
I
remember you telling me about that because I wouldn't forget a name called Old Country Bumpkin Becomes a Sword Saint.
So I am aware of it, and I approve of both.
What's the
Knight's Path was good.
What's the Knight's Path game?
Video game coming out, and I got videos looking at the early development because they've done some things really well. The armor and the combat in terms of the historical inspiration and foundation, how well they're adapting it. Yeah, and this is the one where the trailer just dropped recently and got a lot of good attention.
The big thing that happened is somebody asked, "Hey, you're gonna have gays in this fucking game?" And they were like, "No."
Well, they specifically responded. They specifically responded saying, "We focus on fun and games, not modern agendas."
Fun and entertainment, not modern agendas.
And so now they're trying to cancel them for it, and I will make it my life's purpose to make sure they sell 1 million copies.
Let's go. Let's go.
I've already been messaging the lead developer. He's a good bloke, and he actually took inspiration from an old video series I did called Medieval Combat Reference.
Really?
Where I was
way.
I was encouraging.
Cool.
Yeah, I was encouraging game devs to focus on more historically grounded move sets, and I gave some examples, and they literally have used the reference points in that, implementing it into their game. So these guys are approaching it really well with a love for the medieval period, and also just making a great game. And the fact that they're getting so much attention now, I'm thrilled for. And I will be watching them very closely in the future as well.
So is it the Knight's Path or Knight's Path?
Yeah, they got 100,000 wish list.
They did. It's a very small, they just launched the official trailer. It's early in development. It's all pre-alpha footage, but it's it has almost 500,000 views on a channel that started off with 0 subscribers 5 days ago, basically. So yeah, there's a lot of positive. A lot of people are comparing like the combat to KCD.
I reckon this is better. This is third person, and it's not as
that's the difference.
Yeah, and it's not as finicky as the directional selection that you have in Kingdom Come Deliverance, which I found tedious. This is mainly just a set group of good move sets, positioning. You hit attack. Well, I don't know the details yet, but it seems like you hit attack, you do an attack, and it's so it feels like it might be a bit more closer to Elden Ring, Dark Souls, but with more historically grounded kind of move sets and different combos that you can chain together. And I think that's great. That's a great approach.
I think the combat's supposed to be kind of like Sekiro, but with the like the actual what is it called? Historical European martial arts, schema, right? Look at that. I know some things, guys. I know some things. Look at me.
I have got my search is set on fucking like for Steam for kids settings. So like half the games I look up are just
those are the only games you can play, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, I can't even play those, but
sorry.
Yeah. No, it's from when my kid was younger and I just never fixed them. So I always have to change it and I keep forgetting how, but I see it. It looks pretty cool.
Yep. And the developers seem based and they're just focusing on making a good game. And I can't wait. I think it's still a while off,
2028 at the earliest, I think.
Yeah. So they have a bit of work to do, but they're committed to it. So that's great.
Or there's another medieval game that came out where you can play in 14th century Italy as a non-binary lesbian female who weighs 90 pounds. And you can be a knight like that too.
I saw that.
They took a dig at him. They took a dig at Knight's Path and actually actively said that we will have an agenda in our game. And it's like, guys, what are you doing? That's just anyway.
Anti-Zero Space for $10 says show was good and straightforward. As a normie in this situation, I think the show was doing okay. Not too much, but definitely a good storytelling. I think it's good and bad. They are doing their best. I would let her paint my shield, LOL. The heraldry seems natural because really, how did it happen in ancient times? There you go.
Yeah, like some of it's different. Like some of them are like, okay, I get that. Like the Tullys, a fucking trout on the river, Riverlands. Okay, I get that. But like Molly was talking about the Dondarrions and like that's a crazy fucking story how they got their sigil. It's like you got like a messenger running and lightning fucking strikes all the people that are like following him. Like wild shit.
It's one of those things where it's like, you know what? I'm not sure I believe it happened, but it's such a good story. I'll believe you anyway. Whatever.
Like, yeah, it's interesting.
Will AI GRR 2.0 also be such a pain when he's coming up? What GRRM? Well, I don't. Will AI?
AI George, my thing.
2.0 also be such a pain when it's coming up with excuses running past its due dates? Maybe they'll program the AI George R. R. Martin to be late too.
Accuracy.
Brian Townsend, but I can't get to know anybody until someone tells me how boats float and what happens to stock or show how they are or they want their meat. Show how tall stock or how raw they want their meat.
They thought they were really clever with that stones look down thing. They thought that was brilliant.
They thought that was
it was poetry. So dumb. I still can't believe that they wrote that as like serious dialogue, and that's
I can believe it. Given the show that they wrote, I can believe it.
So
clearly, it was too complicated for you, Shad. You see, a boat floats, stone doesn't.
And the stone does.
Yes.
We don't know why.
The stone
never know
looks
why.
down because that's what I imagine stones do. Look at anything because they have eyes. They're alive. Yep. They look at things.
And the boat looks up. It's just so retarded.
Every time I hear Gary desperately struggle through one of these super chats, I realize that he has written a book, and I just feel even more sad about my life.
You should.
You should.
I've started your book. I finally got it delivered.
Thanks.
Yeah, man.
Thanks. Hey, reading and writing, totally different, Ryan. Okay. Totally different. But yes, that's a great line. Oh, we're getting Rings of Power this year too.
Really?
When?
Be
you know?
Excited about that.
At very end of the year.
End of the year, yeah. 2 years separating them, and they've been consistent on that, which is just fantastic. I'm so glad that they're consistently getting episodes of that show out.
I'm just tired, man. I'm tired.
Oh
I'm
no,
so
I'm ready to
Rings of
fucking
Power.
go. I'm
I
ready
just
to
feel
see
like
it.
by the time it rolls around, I'll be charged up for it. I'll be like, all right,
Probably. That's probably true.
I
Yeah.
do it again.
I think there's a very good chance, as good as any, that this could be its last season.
It's becoming a tradition. It's like, here comes Rings of Power, everyone. Like, everyone gather while we put the corpse on the fire.
Right now, I'm going through Starfleet Academy, and that is something else. That is freaking dumb on a whole new level. It is dumber than the Acolyte.
Really?
3 episodes in, yes. The last episode was oh fucking A, man.
It was so stupid.
There's lots of gay people in it though. Az and I were talking. I think 4 people like came out in this episode. So
Aren't they supposed to be a minority? I'm getting confused.
no, the minority is a masculine male. Okay, they don't exist.
White,
Apparently-
I imagine.
Apparently, they all died
Yeah.
in the burn.
Yeah.
And Bone is right. Arlen is a tripod. Superman's the bowl. Matthew, thank you for the $5 super sticker. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Gary bought the page showing out of stock now. Paul, what are you talking about? How dare you throw wild accusations at me of buying that page? Helping out Mike. That's all. It's also a tax write-off. If anything, George
It
will
is a
make
tax write-off.
It is.
I know.
Yes, it is. If anything, George makes till Wins comes out, we shouldn't be watching anything that remotely makes George R. R. Martin George R. R. Martin money. This show is terrible. I hate anyone in it. Okay,
Well,
hey,
it doesn't seem very fair to all of the people who made that show. They deserve, some credit, some support, I think, right? We want to encourage
hate it.
better
Doesn't
shows
follow
to
the
be made.
books. Pirate
Every time that fat fuck opens his mouth, it pisses me off even more. And if your policy is that, I respect it.
Yeah.
However, the second half of your statement about the show being terrible, if you're not watching it, I don't know why you have that opinion. Show's good so far.
It's a good show.
I also just think it's worth pointing out when they do something right.
To encourage more. This is the
Yeah.
stuff we want. Give us traditional heroism, good stories, good writing, and yeah, like we want more.
Well, yeah, because they're going to make these shows no matter what, regardless of your stance. So if that's going to be the case, you want to encourage
Yeah.
the good stuff.
Mhm.
And discourage the bad stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
but your opinion is welcome here. Our hilts hurt for $2 says stop simping for Blood Raven, Gary. No, I won't. He's Elric. He's fucking Elric. That's what he is, and that's why I like him.
Looking at their thumbnail, their icon, I can see why their hilts hurt. That down sweeping guard is spiky. That's a danger right there. But that's a compliment because it explains their name.
I think Blood Raven's just like, I think it's all because of his fucking badass nickname, right? Like that. That's why we think he's so
nickname.
fucking cool.
The fact that he's got one eye, the fact that he is basically a fucking wizard and he's a green seer.
Yeah, but what is he using his wizard? Hold on. He's using his wizard powers basically to watch people have sex all over Westeros. That's what he's fucking doing. That's what he's using.
What you use your wizard powers for? I mean, he's trying to save the realm, Ryan, by watching people have
watching
sex.
people
Yes.
fuck. That's what Blood Raven does. Yeah.
He's got the raven's teeth and they have fucking werewood arrows. That's just awesome. Everything about that's cool. So I'm simping. Yes. I didn't know you guys did this. I've been watching a bunch of libs review it, and I have to hold my tongue. I'll be here from now on. Welcome, John Sweeney.
Yes. The based review.
Based
stream.
review. That really doesn't bring up any politics at all. We just talk about the show.
Ever in my life.
Yeah, we'll tell you if something's
Clearly, the show is pushing us to vote for particular politicians, and that's
Obviously.
Meloni says hi.
At least Dunk didn't see his horse on fire. says Snacks. Can we get Mike in a future panel? Yeah, if he's feeling up to it.
Poor guy's recovering. We'll see how he's feeling in the future. Of course.
We got a couple more weeks. So
he of course he was unable to join the Night's Watch live streams, and he's a regular co-host on there. And so soon as he's better, and I hope it'll be, he'll have a quick recovery. But like they call it a minor stroke, but the guy's like he's lost a good amount of function in one side of his damn body. I'm really praying he has a full recovery though.
Yeah.
Physiotherapy probably.
What was Chris' stroke considered? I don't think it was considered minor.
Probably minor for Chris's too.
But it took Chris a while. But he recovered. So he was fun. He was frustrated as fuck through the whole thing, and I would be too. So
when I have one, it's gonna be a big one. Just gonna be gone.
Sounds like you're looking forward to it, Ryan.
A little bit. I thought I was having one the other day on stream, to be honest with you. So
I have one every day.
I have a couple every day, but that's different.
Yeah.
Just picturing you now, like you literally hit age 50, pull out a gun, you're like, time to have the stroke.
Yeah, cause of death, stroke, 9mm. Yeah.
Jen Tao for $5. Thank you. Says he would be Sir Arlen the deal breaker for me after seeing that hog.
That's what I'm saying. I think that was right in limit. Like you're not walking away from that unscathed.
Sir Arlen, why are you called the woman's bane?
Well, that should be my fucking name. That should be my night name, Gary.
Maybe. I thought I had drip, but really it was swag dunk. Swag dunk.
Swag, I think that says dunk or something like that.
My favorite Dunk and Egg novella, The Sworn Sword. I look forward to Sir Eustace. Yeah, he's awesome. I'm reading it right now.
Useless.
More like useless. I hope GRRM releases a Dunk and Egg novella and gets the feeling of releasing a book since Obama was president. Yeah, we've had 4 presidential elections since the release of A Dance with Dragons.
That novellas, he should be able to finish a novella, you'd think. Like he's a smaller, easier to write.
Does anyone want Arian to be more flamboyant? He might be. But we don't know.
I'm interested to see how he plays a frustrated person. Do you know what I mean? Like when he doesn't seem like he's just in total control.
Yep.
Which maybe we'll see soon.
Yeah. I mean, the voice Harry Lloyd gives him is it paints the character in a particular way for sure.
The voice that Harry Lloyd gives the Fossaways, I love as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
That voice is actually going to be really hard to get out of my head.
Oh, dude, no, when he voices Daron, I think that is so good. The Daron voicing is really good.
He's like, yeah, I'm pretty good at just laying there in the mud. Like
I'm fine. I don't need to fight. I'm happy rooting you on from the sidelines.
Yeah. The image you have of him just laying in the fucking mud, side-eyeing everybody, waiting for it to be over. It's so great, yeah.
I thought it was really good. Is it enough to start watching, or should I wait? Start watching, Mexi Rage.
Yeah, why not?
Oh wow, light as summer. Fringy gets those numbers up. That's right.
The numbers up for what? For the temperature or
summer, I guess.
Lightweight summer. He said lightweight summer, Fringy. Get those numbers up.
How much? I'm legitimately trying to think of like places in the world that get consistently hotter than like
at 110.
Wait, his is I think 40 degrees Celsius is close to 105, like 104 on my.
It is 45
right.
today.
So depending on
45 degrees today, it is
45,
very hot.
Depending on where Mexi Rage lives, I mean, if it's here in the States.
It's just, I guess. Is there anywhere in America? Oh well, Arizona, I guess maybe
Arizona, right? Nevada.
Yeah. Some places in the desert out there will get that hot.
It's literally in the desert, though. It's like in the middle of the in the middle of the desert.
Yeah,
like it's hit 114 here. So
No,
It's,
it's
and it's humid where Gary is.
But
Yeah,
that's
which
like a
would
rare
make it-
occurrence, I'm guessing.
114. We're always at 100, 105 during the summer. Always, every day.
What, like consistently every
Yep.
day?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, it's just I hate it. I hate when it gets this hot.
Like
It's
Egypt
insane.
gets like 114 is like a
Oh,
cool
I'm
day in
sure.
Egypt. Yeah.
I'm sure
That's
but
crazy.
that doesn't change the fact that it probably doesn't get this hot in most of Europe, though. I assume.
Oh God, no.
Maybe
And when it
in
does,
southern
fucking
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
yeah,
right.
in
Yeah,
Italy and Sicily,
Greece, yeah.
but you go to the UK and it gets hot for a week, and they're like, "Oh
Well, no,
my
when
God!"
True.
And
When
they
I went
run
to
out
the
of
UK
fans because they just
Well,
don't buy them.
They don't have air cons because it rarely gets hot enough to justify it. So when they do have a heat spell,
Paul
in
Waller,
the-
it gets
applies.
really grim when it gets up to a very hot 20 degrees.
You know, of the 3 times I've been there, it's all the same time of year, by the way. All 3 have been hot as fuck. It's in September for some reason.
The temperature thing that's just fun for me though, because Fringy's actually not even exaggerating. I fucking hate it when it gets even close to slightly warm. I don't know what's wrong with my physiology, but I get the reverse benefit, luckily. So Metal was over recently, and like I would be in a t-shirt and shorts watching Futurama, and he would literally be in like 3 layers in a blanket, just freezing. And I was like, "What's wrong with you?" And he was just like,
That
"What's
would
wrn
be
with
me.
you? Like, why are you
That
like
would be
fine?"
me.
I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I run hot, I guess."
Will the show take?
I used to be like cool. Like if it was fucking winter, if it was like above freezing, I just like throw on shorts and a t-shirt or whatever to like go to the store or whatnot. Now that I'm spoiled living in fucking Florida, I get so fucking cold now. Like it gets below 60, it gets below like 55.
Gone native.
Ooh, kind of chilly out, isn't it? Yeah.
Gone
I'm a
native.
fucking pussy now, basically.
Damn.
Will the show take a more serious tone later? It's always going to have this levity, it appears, but yes.
Yeah, it's gonna have to.
Yes, there are events that happen that will get very fucking serious.
Yep.
I have every faith with how they've built these first 2 that they're ready to do it. And they're probably gonna nail it. Particular moments.
Yeah. Pay attention to the next episode. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, I think
All
that's
right.
where it's going to come down. It's all coming down next episode.
Probably at the end.
Yeah.
Do you prefer Westeros, or Westos? Shut the damn it, son of a bitch. Crusty Juggler for $10.
For
that's a great because
West
Look at the avatar.
Westeros, or
Is
Westos.
this what you really, really want? Yarm.
Yarb. Yarb.
Dude, the fact that that's the Hound.
Yeah.
I know. I showed my kid that movie, and for like a month, he's like, Yarb. Yarb,
Yarb.
Dad. Yarb.
Edgar, what happened to you, man?
Oh,
God,
dude.
sucked
That was
hard.
terrible.
Running Man, everyone seems to be settled now that it was terrible. It's like, yep,
Mhm.
it was.
Yarb.
We're gonna see the Hound in Ahsoka.
Oh, God, that's right.
To be fair, I mean,
It's a good
you know,
recast.
That's a good recast, yeah.
Hey, fellas, to be entirely fair to Fringo, the sun down under is much more crueler to people than any other place on earth. Australian heat is not USA heat.
The problem is I don't know. I just assume that the summer in Texas is not the same
Does
as
the heat
it can
go-
get here.
Does the
It
heat go
gets-
the opposite direction?
I don't know. That's what I mean. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not an expert in meteorology.
It does depend where in Australia you are. Like 40
Yeah, of
degrees
course.
in Queensland is different to 40 degrees here. So, you know.
Australia
Well,
looks
'cause
hot.
well, it's just because if you're like in Cairns, which is super far north, it's god damn it is humid. 100%
Humid.
like 40
Yeah.
degrees. Insane.
You're such an international show tonight. All right, that
Oh,
wraps it
yeah.
up. Thanks everybody for watching this review of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I was looking forward to this. It's been fucking great, and I love hanging out with the guys and talking about it with you. And we will continue it next Sunday at the same time. What do you got coming up, Ryan?
Oh, I just
Besides
released
a
a
big
video on
yawn.
Knight's Path while we were live. I don't know. I got Geeks and Gamers Daily every weekday till the day I fucking die, 13 years from now. Sports Wars, talking football and everything else that's going on. And my channel, Ryan Kittle RK Outpost. You can follow me there.
Oh, the Seahawks win?
Yeah, they
Seahawks
did.
won, Patriots won.
Okay.
That's a Super Bowl matchup. Rematch.
Are you excited? You don't sound very excited about that.
I mean, they were both good games, so I was excited for that. But my Chicago Bears lost in the last round. So
that was the first game that I watched like live, and I thought I don't know much about American football, but that Hail Mary was really cool.
Oh, dude, that throw on fourth down,
awesome.
woo, it was sick, man. I was hyped, and then how quickly it turns around. But yeah, so I'm not as excited as I would be if my team was still in.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. I stopped watching to get ready right when the Rams went for it on fourth down and didn't make it in the end zone. Tough break. Fuck LA. I don't care. Shad, what do you got coming up?
Well, I'll just mention the fundraiser for Mike. If everyone could, if you're in a position to do so, even just $1, $5, help out a guy who's gone through a tough spot, and will be very much appreciated. And so that's on Give Send Go. We've dropped the link in the chat. Try and do that again. And if you want something extra, you could also go to Mike's website and grab something from there as a bit of memorabilia for the Hedge Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and that'll also help him out as well. So I appreciate everyone.
It goes to a good cause. Yeah, help out. He's a really good artist and really captures the feeling of Westeros and does a great job. Metatron, thank you for coming on, brother.
My pleasure.
Coming
Anytime. Coming up with what? I'm not sure.
What do you got coming up on your channel?
On the channel, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, in the usual variety chaotic mess, whereby one day I'll talk about the ancient Romans. I got a nice video on like how they made their names. Usually, because people know the Romans use 3 names, I'm making a video to tell you that it's actually 5. So it's going to be interesting. And then the usual mess, one day politics, one day something medieval, one day a movie review. Every day there's something new.
Brilliant. Fringy.
Well, yeah, given the heat, I'm in the dungeon. What can I say? Just working away. That's me. But EFAP this week. Yay. We're talking
Stranger
about
Things.
We're finally finished with Stranger Things. Finally.
Go through every episode and the documentary, which I do recommend.
Documentary.
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant. God, that was so good.
We had a lot of fun reacting to it. Some memes edited in, it's good shit.
Thanks, Fringy. Mahler.
Yeah, I mean, to echo, we've got another episode coming out that's already been streamed, but it's Metroid Prime 4 for those who had quite a hatred for that, but maybe didn't see much coverage of it. Is looking to find somewhere that you could get some camaraderie. We thought it was an insult to the whole series. It's which is explained, by the way, by a lot of meta shit that went on in the background, which we kind of go through on the stream as well. But big comparisons to Super Metroid and Metroid Prime, two of the greatest games ever made, and this is the fate of the franchise currently. Obviously, you can have some hope with something like Metroid Dread, but still sad with Metroid Prime 4, and hopefully we don't see a sequel to Metroid Prime 4 as opposed to something better. But that's on its way out as well.
Cheers, guys. Got a lot of good feedback on the show. Our last stream got 128,000 views, and I really appreciate it. And because this is fun. This is great. All the channel is fun, but this is like kind of the most fun. So Daneska for €5 says, can we agree that one of the reasons that Lord of the Rings trilogy is so legendary is because there are only white actors in it? For the record, I'm black. Well, it's accurate to the book, Daneska. So we can agree that it's in the spirit of the book. It's not technically accurate to the book because it changes a lot of shit from the books. But you know what I mean? It's in the spirit. And hey, a lot of white people in the show in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and Tanzel Too Tall is that's proper casting ish, so yeah, I think it's great
just
for a lot of reasons.
try to stay as close as you can to the source material. It's okay to have all white fucking shows. It's okay to have all white stories. It's okay to have all black stories.
Yep.
It's okay to have all Asian stories. No one's fucking bitching at Korean cinema because there aren't enough fucking blacks in it. Like, it's okay to have white shows.
I really wish I could enjoy Last Samurai Standing more if there was more representation.
Just not enough, right?
There's not enough.
I mean, there's so
representation.
few gay samurai in it. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Actually, that would have been, yeah.
Have you seen it yet, Mahler?
I've seen episode 1.
Okay. I like it a lot. Watched it twice all the way through. Okay. So for me, just finished right before the show recording Starfleet Academy episode 3 review, because yes, we are going to review every single episode. Every single one. If I'm going to watch it, I'm going to fucking make a review on it. And we got Wonder Man coming up and Friday Night Tights and Forbidden Frontier. We'll be back when I'm not recording a video on a Sunday and all the other stuff. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I'll remember it later. Thanks to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat and donation. Thanks to everyone who participated, even the lurkers. We'll see you next week. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye bye.